fuck? Creative studio. Boom, boom, boom. Black people, you minute. Boom, boom, boom. What's in it for the black people? Who's this? Come to you, lady. Whoa, take that off. Go on, Slick. Reis, we ain't got no sound. Oh, you gotta switch the. You gotta switch the. My bad, y'all.
WIFTVPM.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stoger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you can put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. So many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA gets spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steel on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let this give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And up the seal carry, I stay with the pipe. For Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this is a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world! This is the Maze Jackson Show. It's a Friday, and I'm feeling all right. Y'all had me down yesterday, and I don't want to say down. It's just, you ever just be like, oh, like for real, like
You know how you be like, it's some things you be like, I'm ready for the white man. I'm ready. Hey, you know, I be in the morning, I be, hot karate. But then Reis, it be them times, like, you know I got John Blaze. You know I got John Blaze. So I wake up expecting John Blaze. I'll wake it up. I'll wake up, man. But then Reis, and so you expect to, you know, I'm used to that. It's just, and you know, white supremacy, you know, it be, good morning. You know, you get out your way to the store. They be waiting for you outside. It just be when it be your people, Reis. It just be when it be your people. And you know, like, you know how you expect, you know it could happen, but you know you be like, nah. And then it happen, you be like, and who did? And then you be like, you know what? So yesterday, I'm just gonna tell y'all, I was a little down. I do want to quit on y'all. I do. You know, I want to do comedy. Like, I was just thinking, what if we did like a funny morning show and we stopped talking about all this serious stuff and just did like, ha ha ha, yes. Hey, Reis, I got the best advice for women. I could do like women advice in the morning, like Steve Harvey. I could grow me a big old buzzy mustache. Y'all can write me love letters, right? I know, Reis, I have them write. The ones that you can't take, I take your letters in the morning, I read, I be like, dear auntie, no, you cannot date your niece's 18-year-old husband. And then I would give you advice on that, and then y'all could be like, ha, that maze is so crazy. But no, I choose to give a damn about black people, and so it just be them days. Hey, y'all, I'm checking on. See, y'all check on my girl Carolyn Ruff for me. Carolyn, if you are out there, please tap in. Make sure that I know you are okay. I got a text. I'm gonna tell you, I was underwater yesterday. I ain't have time to check out the press conference last night, Reis. Did you see the press conference? So, Reis, now you know the people sent it to me. So, Reis, I'm just telling you now, and to the whole squad, to the den, to the illustrious Reverend Hunter, who has joined us this morning, I am going to play, since Reverend Hunter wouldn't come on with us before, he had to wait for the white folks. Because, you know, I understand. I know, we ain't as big as 2579, but one day, we going to count one day, though. What we say going to count one day. One day it's going to count, but I decided that we were going to hear the Reverend in his own words. And then we will have a post-press conference discussion. So, Reis, I'm letting y'all know. Y'all get ready at 7 o'clock. And, Reis, we got to do it at 7 on the top because this is 25 minutes. Shout out to Mama D for Blog Talk Radio and her question. Shout out to Reverend Hunter for having the press conference that you need to talk to the white folks once before you talk to us, but it's all good. And I'm going to play it back, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it back, and then I'm going to ask you all to tell me, is it me? I don't think it's me, Reis, unless it's the TV or something. I'm going to ask you all to tell me your thoughts, because you know I'm always willing to give you my thoughts. I tell you all the time what I'm thinking. Reis, why you back there shaking your head, dog?
Man, two reasons. First of all, I'm glad that the man is here. First of all, whoever was recording it, fire them. Like, they recording it and they got the alert on. It's like buzzing and everything. But beyond that, just to listen to him.
Nah, Reis, the ruler. You cannot influence. We're going to let the people hear it directly. Right? Now, I'm going to encourage you all as you are, hey, where my girl Tiger at? Because me and Tiger, I wasn't watching the press conference, but like y'all know how we do when the mayor be doing the press conference and she be talking and we be commenting. I'm going to play the press conference and I'm going to ask you first to say how you feel in the comments. Then I'm going to ask you to give us a call so we can have it on air too. Reverend Hunter, if you feel like you want to call in, you're more than welcome to call in after we play the press conference. And at 7 o'clock, Riis, we playing it from the rooter to the tutor. Riis, what? First of all, hold on, y'all. It's Friday. I'm here solo dolo. Well, I'm not solo dolo because I got my trusty dusty business in the front, party in the back, airline pilot of the soul plane, Mr. Weeko Wednesday himself, DJ Riis the Ruler. Riis, how you feeling this morning?
Feeling good with that boy right
Hey!
now. I'm feeling good, but he looking
Riis,
mighty.
Riis,
You know how I got my
Riis,
week-
you
I'm
get-
not saying nothing about the thing,
Okay.
but you know how every Wednesday like people that make you mad and upset and you make them your weak hoes. He's definitely one of my weak hoes for Wednesday. I'm just that's how it is. But, I'm feeling good. I'm blessed by the best, the right one. I'm blessed by the best. You already know the rest.
DJ
Can't
Riis.
be bought. You know what I'm saying?
Riis.
Can't be bought. Ain't enough money in there for me. But good morning though, Dan.
Goodness. 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock, we are what's that? Didn't it be a show like, you be the judge? Like, and you have the phrase, you cannot outslick a can of oil, comes to mind. Riis, I'm doing what I told you not to do. So look, y'all, at 7 o'clock, no judgment. No judgment. 7 o'clock, we're going to play the press conference back, and we're going to let you hear it for yourself. And we're going to, because we got to wait for the church people to wake up. Because I want the saints' opinions. I want the real saints. Because the people that listen to BGX, man, if you listen to BGX in the morning, God is in your life. You might be like, who put the devil on from 6 to 9, from 6:30 to 8? But if you are listening to BGX this early, I want the church folks to weigh in. Lord, I don't know when I'm going back to church. Where's my mom? Don't tell my mama going. Mom, don't call. I'm sorry. I'll be back. I will, Mom. But if you want to know why people go to church, no more. Hey, man, if I was Church Chicago, hey, Riis, you let Church Chicago know they on thin ice. You let Church Chicago know.
I don't think they with him, yo.
They on thin ice. Nah, I got a church thing going on now, man. Church Chicago, Terrence Keys, y'all lucky y'all got Angie. Because right now, the way I feel about... Riis, DJ Riis the Ruler. Never in my life. All my life. No, I'm going to stop. Move on. Okay. So we're going to talk about the past press conference. But in better news, Riis, we ain't got no Ruthie today. We know Todd ain't coming. Let's take the soul plane up to 60,000 feet. Because I need to get away from you ninjas today anyway. Because I'll be back for Telling Like It Is Friday. And I'm just telling you. Ooh. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Lakeshore Drive. Dun, 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 is now Dusable Lakeshore Drive. And I was thinking when the mayor was holding the sign up above her head, the sign is probably longer. It's probably taller than her. Dusable Lakeshore Drive. That almost sounds like a Latino name. Like Maria Conchita, but they be having like 7 names. Dusable Lakeshore Drive. Well, Lakeshore is one word though, right? So that happened yesterday. Shout out to Alderman David Moore for winning the compromise. 18 miles, 12 signs. Can I tell y'all what's crazy to me, though, is they were willing to spend $80 million of your dollars to stop you from putting them signs up. 12 signs, Reis. How hard do they not want a black man to succeed? $80 million. They was willing to. And can I just point out that they do not, now they don't call Dusable black. I was watching Chicago Tonight, and he was like, the first non-indigenous settler. I was like, are y'all really working that hard to call this, not call, to use the word black? Because y'all just, like, now it's the non-indigenous settler, because white people don't know who Dusable is. So now when they hear it, and you know they gonna only hear it on Channel 11, because they ain't going to look up no Dusable. He is the first, Reis, when I heard, I mean, how much linguistic twister will white people go to not say black? They called him the first non-indigenous settler. So they won't give him American because he wasn't. He was French. From Haitian. Not Haitian, Haiti. I'm playing. Don't. Hey, Patrick Brutus, don't trip on me, man. I know it's early. But just think about the verbal linguistics. Like, they probably had to call somebody like Salim to come up with that. The first Salim, how could you name a black person without saying black? And we can't call him an Indian. Excuse me, Native American. I mean, indigenous people. And Salim was probably like, aha. But you know Salim ain't going, so I take that back. Because you know Salim ain't going to let you be like non-indigenous. Salim, you know, for all the words Salim got, you notice that black, he ain't got no fancy word for black. Like, he don't be like, the indigo grid. You know what I mean? Salim, when it's black, it's black. So Reis, Dusable Drive is official now. Did you see the judge banned John Catanzara from social media for 10 more days? Reis, I think that should be of concern to you. Right? Like, the fact that, so a lot of times I guess we do realize that social media is viable, but the fact that they are now, like, you can legally be banned from using your platform. Reis, you and Toy better watch out. Like, you know, y'all call out the pastor, and then the next thing you know, he gonna take y'all to court, and then y'all gonna really be calling him in.
I'll just tell him I'm sorry. You know, he'll just forgive me. I just tell him I'm sorry, and then he'll forgive me. He'll be like, I understand. I'm a man of God. I have to forgive.
Okay,
I'm sorry, Pastor.
Reis, did you see the pivot? Did you hear the pivot? Okay, wait. We ain't gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. But I am gonna point out the key pivots, because can I tell you what bothers me? What bothers me is when people try to take the things that we have discussed here and contort them to try and justify BS. And it's a whole bunch of, if you listen to this, a whole bunch of our conversations twisted up in that. But you know how they say what God meant for good, what the devil meant for bad, the God meant for good. I feel like it was in reverse yesterday. You know that statement? What's to say what the devil meant for harm, the God turned into good? What we meant for good was turned into harm yesterday and being Look, man, get me to the break, Reis. Did we take the plane off? Did we get it up in the air? I don't know if I heard the jet engines. Let me shock I hear the engines, because I gotta get away from you Negroes for a minute. It is the Maze Jackson Show. We are up and away. We're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll be back after these messages with some more headlines and the social media question of the day.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
What's up, everybody? It's the green side of things. It's your man, Sadiq.
And Cassiopeia.
And we need you to like,
comment,
and share. We need you to do it right now and join us at our new day and time, Wednesdays
From 1 to 3 p.m.
on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Church Chicago's Power Hour. I'm your host, Angie Mims, and
Terrence Keys.
TD, a.k.a. Terrence Daniels.
I wish I had one witness in the house.
Got one.
Got a couple of them. Got a couple of them.
Two T's.
Give me a testimony.
Oh, Lord. He's did it before. Oh, Lord.
Cut. Reis, there's no church till I cut the organs off. Hey, you better put on the week commercial, cause I ain't hearing till the Lord deliver. I told you I've been asking the Lord to deliver for me. We ain't hearing no church, nothing. I don't even know if it's Church Chicago on Sunday. I got to get this demon up out me. So you can't play no church, nothing.
I know church music.
No church music. No organs. I don't want to hear nothing. Let me get my drug. Nothing. George Blake Moore. I don't want to hear nothing. Talking about no church, no gods. Excuse me, God, Ma, don't get mad. I don't want to hear nothing till after we hear this press conference. So you know what? And just because of that, I want you to find the week commercial, and if the devil gonna be busy, we gonna get busy around here. This is the Maze Jackson Show. Now, don't play me no more Church Chicago if they even still got a show. After what I saw yesterday, I don't know if it is no more church up at this joint. Matter of fact, turn my girl Toy on and let's hear about the pink, blue, whatever. Let's go.
Reach the ruler. This is Week Hoe Wednesday, and to my right is Everybody's Women Crush Wednesday. My co-host, the one and only Toy. It goes, love this show, y'all. I'm dealing with a guy. We have been dating for 9 months. In light of everything going on in the world, he has been voicing his opinion about situations, and I don't agree with any of his views. I love everything else except his opinions.
Damn.
How do I fix this? FYI, he's white.
It's about to be a white boy summer.
So could that be the issue?
For sure. Just come out different when it's not coming from your own race. It's just never been something I'd be like, oh, I date Bill.
I'm just a Bill. Yes, I'm only a Bill.
I don't really like light-skinned guys. I don't like pink
Yeah,
meat.
pink. So like it's like you see it.
Pink tip. It be pink.
And then pink on the
Yeah, I
tip.
don't like.
So sometimes a light skinned guy have a dark tooth.
And then it look dark,
And you-
so it's nasty off to me.
Okay, so
I feel
now
like
you-
it's supposed to be pink because they light skinned. You know what I'm
But-
saying?
but
But I don't
because
want
it's
it to
not-
be dark because
because
then
it's
I'm gonna
not.
say you dirt.
And now, traffic and weather.
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media? I'd like to say that was a very beautiful commercial if you ask me, but the time is now 6:34 a.m. and I am the Riis, the ruler. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm here with your traffic and weather update. In traffic on the Kennedy O'Hare to the Loop is 39 minutes. Outbound to O'Hare is 18. On the Edens, Deerfield till Exchange is 43. Exchange out to Deerfield will be 25. On the Eisenhower, Thorndale to the Loop, 37 back out to Thorndale, 33 to Stevenson. From I-355 to the Dan Ryan is 42 minutes. Outbound will be 33. The Bishop Ford, I-80 to the Dan Ryan, 36 minutes. 32 minutes back out to I-80. The Dan Ryan is 15 minutes in both directions to the Loop and back to 95th. It's official. Dusable Lakeshore Drive, south, 7 minutes. 55th to Jackson and Jackson back to 55th and 8 minutes north. Randolph to Bryn Mawr and Bryn Mawr back to Randolph. Today's weather, it is currently 46 and mostly cloudy. Today will be a high of 55 with a low of 42. I'm Reach the Ruler, and here's Valerie here on the Maze Jackson Show.
Well, sometimes I go out by
by myself and I look across the water. And I think of all the things, what you're doing. And in my head I paint a picture. Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess. And I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. But won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Did you have to go to jail? Put your house on up for sale? Did you get a good lawyer? I hope you didn't catch a tan. I hope you find the right man who'll fix it for you. And are you shopping anywhere? Change the color of your hair. Are you busy? And did you have to pay this fine that you've been dodging all the time? Are you still dizzy? Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess. And I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Oh, stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over there? Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water and I think of all the things, what you're doing. In my head I paint a picture. Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over,
It's the Maze Jackson Show. You know that Valerie. That part when we I love that part. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, and I'm trying to get away from y'all. Chicago will make you tired. Not tired, tired. You know when they say fit to be tired? I feel fit to be tired. But I'm scared to say that because now that I think about being fit to be tired, that's probably some slavery stuff. Like, you fit to be tired. Like,
Fence to be. Not, you saying like fence to be.
It's fist to be?
Like, it's kind of like a slang with it saying like, yeah, man.
Yeah, finna be. Like, fixing to be.
Yeah, there you go.
Ah. Riis, you been tired? Oh, let me stop. That's save it for Wednesday. Save it for Wednesday. Save it for Wednesday. I was thinking about a whooping, but you know, I got to watch y'all. Because you know, you got to watch. I got to be careful when I talk about y'all. All right, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Now, I want y'all to stay tuned at 7:30. I told y'all yesterday I wasn't going to have him on the show, but I want to invite Reverend Hunter after 7:30 to maybe I'm going to play the press conference because I want everybody to hear it. And then I'm going to stop talking about it. Then Riis started playing that church stuff. Look, Riis.
Try to get a little Lord.
Yeah, it made me want to go. After that press conference yesterday, I felt like going to sin. I was like, I want to kill him up. Sorry. My bad. So y'all, I'm sorry. I got so frustrated, upset, Riis, when y'all started talking, when you started playing the church stuff. I done messed up my paper. I can't even read what I wrote. It's like, what notes do we have? I just need to play the press conference. I almost want to do it. Let me do this, though. Let me say what's up to WBGX 1570 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. I want to thank you all for tuning in with us every day from 6:30 to 8. Now, people, you know what, Reese? People was coming up to me like, you not on WBGX no more, and I can't find you. I was like, because y'all either getting up late. Really, because y'all getting up late. So, you know the show goes from 6 to 9, so you can also catch us on air from 6:30 to 8, but we're on every day from 6 to 9. So once you get your fill on the air, Reese, you can tell them to come on to. I got to stop messing with my papers. Y'all done, won't he do it? He did it yesterday. I ain't going to even lie. And I don't know who he is, but somebody was talking yesterday. Did you see 2 police officers were shot yesterday by another police officer in a gunfight? They were chasing a criminal. And they shot 2 cops got shot by one guy. Kind of crazy. Did you see? Speaking of shootings, do you know who Alec Baldwin is? Do you watch not The Office? Did you ever watch 30 Rock? You know Alec Baldwin. He's the guy who played Trump all the time on Saturday Night Live and stuff.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay, well he yesterday was shooting a movie and they had blanks in the gun, and apparently he shot and killed the director of photography, and another person got wounded. And I was trying to understand how that happened. But you remember that happened in not Bruce Lee, but his son, Jason Lee. Like they had a gun, they were firing blanks, and something happened and they killed the person. Same thing happened yesterday. Crazy, right? Reese, I know you're a big Chicago Sky fan. But what I haven't seen is you wearing Chicago Sky gear. What's up with that, man?
For all my daughter, I got my daughter all the gear.
She got, well, it ain't really all that gear, because they said
like
that.
Shirt, all that.
Okay, because they said, like, right now, like, even in Chicago, people wanted to celebrate and go buy stuff, and they couldn't because it ain't there. Yeah. They said there's not a lot of Chicago Sky merch in Chicago. That's kind of unfortunate, because they're going to miss the pop. You know, like, I'm going to tell you, they missed the biggest bang, Reese, because after the rally, you know, you want to go, there ain't going to be nothing for the rest of the year. So you can't really, and like, I feel like I might have bought a Sky jersey just to be fresh to go to the rally. But after that, I don't buy no Stitch jersey. Speaking of that, speaking of the Stitch jersey, yo, Brother Devin, where my Justin Fields jersey at? You tripping, man? Gonna text me and be like, what size? I tell him I want a 54, and then I don't hear from him no more. What's up with my jersey? Oh, it was Brandon Lee? My bad. Brandon Lee. One of them Lees. Not Bruce, though. Okay. How about this one? Did you see? Hey, remember Chris Rock when he talked about the bullet tax? When he said, you want to stop people from shooting people? Charge $1,000 for a bullet? Well, guess what? Cook County tried to do it. They tried to put a tax on ammunition, but it failed at the Supreme Court because they said that it would prohibit people's rights to bear arms. I thought that was the point, right? Like, I thought that was the point, was to prohibit or to stop the shootings. Reese, so if we can't stop the bullets and we can't stop the guns, I just got to get a bigger gun, I think, that shoots faster. I need a clip or something. Like, not a clip, a switch. Wow, but that's illegal, so I can't say that. But, man, it's like, that's kind of not cool when they got a pistol that they done turned into a machine gun. Like, these machine gun pistols, you seen them? Have you seen a gun with a drum on it? Can I ask a question? And this is just out of the blue. Who introduced the drum and the switch to the handgun and then introduced it to the Negroes? You ever think about that? Like, was somebody reading Guns and Ammo? Like, who manufactures switches, and why can't they stop them from being sold if they're illegal?
Always the black market.
Well, but my thing is, there's a manufacturer. Like, the switch has got to be manufactured at a factory.
Or somebody is illegally making switches.
I got you, but ain't it metal?
Yeah, but, I mean, like, are you trying to, like, track it or something like that?
Well, I'm saying, like, if I'm thinking, like, just like they know when they cooking up a batch or something, somebody to manufacture switches, manufacture them. Somewhere there has to be a factory.
Could be disguised of abandoned building. Like, you never really know. You know what I'm saying?
No, they know. They know. Just like when they go to Wisconsin and somebody be like, give me 12 AR-15s. Black ain't never been in Kenosha. And they be like, hey, they gonna kill each other. Take 100. It's just crazy, man. But they're not charging. The Supreme Court blocked it, even in Illinois. Man, did y'all know Portillo's went public? Well, man, Charlie, they opened up at $20 a share. They're already at $29. And they got a black chief operating officer. I loved, put a D on Portillo's when it was only 7 of them. Because you knew you was always getting the bomb food. Now I feel like they done took a Chicago secret. They gonna spread it around the country, and the next thing you know, it's gonna be like, oh, it ain't no big deal to get Portillo's no more. Well, actually, it's kind of falling off now because it's more frequent. Riis, are you a Portillo's dude?
Yeah, but I don't go because I stay like 5 minutes from one. So, you know, I kind of been there a few times.
So I grew up with it. I don't go as much. It used to be when they were rare, you would always stop. Now it's like, oh, it's just Portillo's. I don't know, man. But I just know that I wish I would have got me some shares when they opened up. Because $20 to $29, they done already increased damn near 50% in a week. You put in, you know what I'm saying? You would have put in 100,000. You would have 150 right now. And it's still climbing. That's kind of crazy, man. I'm a little. We need us an investment club. Like, we need us somewhere. We need a financial advice segment too. We got to get my man Rendell Solomon on here, because Rendell.
Dope right there.
No, but I feel like we could do a Wiftable investment club, and like we could all just, like have a meeting up at our joint, sit down, everybody pick some stocks and start to grow the money. Because I was at a meeting yesterday, Riis. And I was talking about, like, who taught black people how to deal with their money? Like, and I'm not talking about opening a bank account. I'm talking about smart money moves. Because can I tell you, Riis, I remember I used to get like 10 stacks and I'd be like, how can I flip this? And you know how I always thought to flip it? Was to go to the illicit market. As compared to saying, having someone who I knew and trusted, or I would invest in a party, which could sometimes be good, sometimes could be bad. So I do think we got to figure out that whole, where do we do with our money? Because I was just thinking about that Portillo's thing. Like, how many black people eat at Portillo's? And I could have told you, and once the rest of the country finds out, it's got to keep climbing. Right? Like, it just started. And who teaches black people? Like, I thought about, like, I learned to balance a checkbook. My dad would make sure, we knew bills and how to deal with that. But I don't think anybody ever talked to me about investment strategy. I think you got a 401k and they said you want small, medium, or large. And you be small, medium, or large. You don't say, okay, right? And I do think that there's something that can happen with our collective wealth. By the way, did y'all see that in New Jersey, Riis? This is the first time that they had $1 billion in sports betting in 1 month. Think about that. That's one state. And if New Jersey doing it, Illinois is right along the way. So think about Illinois, weed, $100 million a month. Sports betting as we open up, $1 billion a month. Still no black owners. You dig? And the black owners that do have an opportunity, white folks want to act like people want to act like they don't see us out here. I just got to tell y'all, man, This gaming, do y'all realize that sports betting is going to be bigger than Reis? Do you know sports betting is bigger than TV right now for the NFL? Like, that's why the Bears like 84 million. And we can have a casino? Puh, see you. Y'all, we got to get our piece. Like this gambling. And again, we going to be sitting around and somebody going to tell us it ain't no qualified black people. And I got to ask y'all something. So this is Reis, I'm done with my headlines. Give me the big voice real quick. I'm ready. Y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show, and it's time.
It's time for the social media question of the day.
Where does money in black business go? Let me say it again for you. Where does money in black business go? I was reading the Sun-Times today, and they were talking about the mayor and her budget, right? And they were talking about the Capitol bill and that the mayor had floated a $1.2 billion bond. Now, y'all understand what a bond is, right? You know, that's when the city wants to pay for something. They issue bonds, right? They create these municipal bonds that they go to the marketplace and sell, and they promise that in 20 years or 15 years, these bonds that you bought at $50 will be worth $75. And I'm just throwing out numbers there, right? And so people in high finance then want to sell, because municipal bonds are usually stable because they can always raise your taxes to pay it back, right? So the people know that they're going to get their investments. Reis, at the city council meeting yesterday, when the budget director was presenting, the Sun-Times said before the Black Caucus could even ask, Jenny, or whatever her name is, the budget director said that we've had 52% of the bond work is going to minority companies. Now, you know, so the inference in the article was that the Black Caucus was going to say, who are the black people that got the bond work? Because we're about to spend this $1.2 billion in capital. And the answer, beyond the minority piece, the answer for the Black Caucus was 52% of it went to minority businesses. And I was just thinking about this. Where if 52% of the $1.2 billion went to black business, and I want y'all to be clear, I'm not saying that 1.2 billion, 52% of 1.2 billion. But if they are counting bond work as the answer to this 1.2 billion, and they can say that's our answer to minority, and let's just say that they're trying to say minority and black as the same thing, how would you feel, Reis, who benefits from that? Like, who benefits from $1.2 billion in bond work going to a black company? 6 people? Meanwhile, and this is how we get outpointed all the time. When it's 1 for you, 1 for me. 2 for you, 1, 2 for them. So we're excited about the fact that the black bond agency gets 52% of the work. And then the white boys, after you go get the work, the white boys own the construction company, they own the tractors, the trailers. So the $1.2 billion that the black dude gets, let's say the black dude makes $100 million on the $1.2 billion. One black dude takes away $100 million, and they use that as the answer to what happened to the rest of us. So I want to ask you, because realistically, even when you think about this, all of our fights for black business usually revolve around construction. How many real black construction companies are there? As compared to how many black accounting firms? Compared to how many black attorneys? Compared to how many black marketing companies? And I ask myself, if the city of Chicago does business, who are the black people that get the city business? And the fact of the matter is, what happens so many times is that the bigger companies keep getting bigger, and as they get bigger, they get whiter. And so essentially, our money leaves out the top because we've given it to a large black company that has no black suppliers. So when they have no black suppliers, they reach a pinnacle, and then they get to say, ain't no black people at this level that could do this level of work. And yeah, it might be 6 black kids running around that's doing good, but those 6 black kids have consumed the wealth that was meant for 16,000. Right? We look at the 6 bond traders and be like, ooh, look, we got 6 black bond traders. Those 6 black bond traders create the wealth that allows the rest of the corporations to eat. That allows all the white companies that are going to get the infrastructure projects to do well. So they say, sure, you can have that black guy do the bond work. Because he's going to create the money that feeds our families for generations. His family will eat for generations. In the meantime, who you got? We spend a lot of time fighting in places where we don't even have the capacity. I feel like we're on a hamster wheel. I feel like we're on a hamster wheel in which every single time we try to figure out a way, somebody takes what we know needs to happen and manipulates it and jump. It's like, so think about all the what's in it for the black people fight we have. And now these people are volunteering answers, and the people who we'll never see ever in our community, besides at Christmas, reap the benefits of all of the labor. So then they get up and say, oh, well, we got black bond traders don't do nothing for the black community. And can I just be honest with you? As black legislators, the black bond traders can't do nothing for you either. Because they can't contribute to your campaigns because they passed a law that says, I'll get rich, but I can't donate to you. So as we make black bond traders and all these people in the financial services wealthy, that money does not reach the people. And then it be the same people like, man, what's wrong with y'all? Well, fool, you got $100 out the bond city's bond market. Of course you're straight. It's the Maze Jackson Show, man. All right, y'all, when we come back. But no, ask me, where does the black business go? If the state was to say we're going to allocate 12% of the state's budget to black business, who would we be fighting for? Who would we be fighting for? Because I'm going to tell you, it's people fighting for it. And then the state points, just like the budget director pointed to bond work. Like, can somebody please raise their hand and tell me if bond work helps anybody black besides the 6 black bond traders? How does that reach the people? And quite frankly, they don't help us in political spaces. It's like, I feel like sometimes they be having us running up the hill like we fighting for people who ain't even thinking about us. And then they get to eat your lunch and you, like, really, you just told us about a $1.2 billion bond and you saying that the bond work goes, that's great for the bond traders, but tell me how that works for the black people on the ground. How does that build another better business? It's the Mace Jackson Show. When we come back, Riis, we're gonna get the road together because we are going to play the entire press conference and question and answer from Reverend Marvin Hunter. And then at 7:30, we're gonna at 7:30, we're going to have calls, comments, etc. I think the Reverend wants to call in. Anybody can call. 872-259-7474. Riis, let's make this break short. Let's do it. We'll be right back.
The Mace Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality Black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe Black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of Black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
And now, traffic and weather.
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 7:02 a.m. and I'm Riis the Ruler with your Chicagoland area traffic and weather report. And traffic on the Kennedy O'Hare to the Loop is 39 minutes. Outbound to O'Hare will be 18. On the Edens, inbound from Deerfield to Exchange, 40 minutes. Exchange out to Deerfield will be 28. The Eisenhower, Thorndale to the Loop, 48 minutes. Back out to Thorndale, 37. Stevenson from I-355 to the Dan Ryan is 45 minutes. Outbound, 38. The Bishop Ford, I-80 to the Dan Ryan is 33 minutes. 28 minutes back out to I-80. The Dan Ryan is 17 minutes to the Loop, 15 minutes back out to 95th. Dusable Lakeshore Drive South is still 7 minutes, 55th to Jacksonville to Jackson back to 55th, and 8 minutes north Randolph to Bryn Mawr, and Bryn Mawr back out to Randolph. Today's weather is currently 46 and cloudy. Today will be a high of 55 with a low of 43. I'm Riis the Ruler. Now back to the Mace Jackson Show.
Back to the Mace Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Mace Jackson. Mace Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for Black people in the world.
If you ain't trying to help us, don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies now of the politicians. We need money and no symbolism. It's Mace and Riis and Ruthie and Todd, explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't trying to help us, they ain't trying to do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect you oppressed to solve them.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Mace Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis the Ruler. And Riis, I'm going to just jump straight into it. We are about to play. Yesterday, we talked about the letter written by Reverend Marvin Hunter for Laquan, in support of Laquan McDonald. We asked him to come on yesterday. He said he wanted to have one press conference so he could explain it one time. I'm going to, before we even get into that, because I did not go to the press conference yesterday, I thought it was important that we play the press conference so that you could hear it, you could understand it, and then we will take calls, comments, and I would encourage you, as this is playing, feel free to comment and leave your thoughts in the comments. Riis, you might need to keep your eye on me during this because there are certain things that I want to point out during it, if you don't mind. All right, y'all. This is Reverend Marvin Hunter in his own words at his press conference yesterday as to why he felt the need to write a letter for Rahm Emanuel that apparently Rahm didn't ask for. Okay, let's just let you hear it. Ready? I
want to thank everybody.
He felt the need to write a letter for Rahm Emanuel that apparently.
See, that was you. I told you.
No, that wasn't that. No, it wasn't me. I just took it off.
I want to thank everybody.
He felt the need to write a letter for Rahm Emanuel that.
Yeah. Let me know when you close it.
Alrighty, let's start again. Go.
I want to thank everybody for coming out and sharing in this press conference today. I'm here today because there was a question as to whether or not I wrote a letter on behalf of former Mayor Rahm Emanuel. And I wanted to just answer that question. The reason why I wanted all of the media to come, because I wanted to answer the question once and not have to continue to go over and over again with different press outlets answering the same question. The question is, I wrote two letters. The first letter I wrote it trying to get the attention of the President of the United States about the senseless gun violence and the mass incarceration of our people.
This is not us.
Three presidents, I've tried to get my voice heard as it pertains to the death of our young black men in this country at the hands of police officers. I spoke with President Obama. I reached out to him and got no response.
I thought you spoke to him.
President Trump, at the end of the Laquan McDonald trial, got no response. Even the president that we have today, President Biden, a president of which I prayed for and asked God to heal his body and to give him a victory and to become president of the United States with the hope that he would hear me as I then continued to ask for systemic police reform in the United States of America. I sent a letter to Nancy Pelosi, and here's the letter. This same letter went out to Chuck Schumer. This same letter went to Tim Scott. This same letter went to Cory Booker, and to all of the leadership of the United States of America, the Senate, asking that they would come to Chicago and that they would do an investigation as to the riots that took place here in the city of Chicago, why it happened, who made it happen, and what can we do to make sure that it doesn't happen again. And I got no response, and I got no help. I talked about a thing here in Illinois that is known as the Uniform Disciplinary Peace Officers Act. That act exists in every state in the union, and it is the act that creates a fair and equitable contract between municipalities and the police unions. And so I asked that we would do a forensic audit of that act, because I believe that it is that act where we get the 4th and the 14th Amendment rights of black people violated. And so I was asking that we would change those things that are in that act so that we could live in a society here in America whereby black people would not be killed at a rate that is disproportionate to any other race of people in this country, and nothing happened. As you all clearly know, before the death of my great-nephew Laquan McDonald, there was nothing that happened to a black man in this town or in many other towns across this country by a police officer, a white police officer, and anything happened to him. We were one of the first, if not the first family, to ever get anything that looked like justice. which amounted to 6 years. The press asked me how did I feel about it when they gave me 6 years. I said to the press these words: I feel like they've reduced my great-nephew and the life of this young man to a second-class citizen.
They did?
I feel like that the message that Judge Gahn gave us was a message that said that there were no laws on the books for a black man that a white man was bound to honor. And now here we are today with the second letter that I wrote. I wrote that letter on behalf of Mr. Rahm Emanuel. I wrote that letter because after time of meeting with Mr. Emanuel and talking with him, and hearing him physically say, listen, whatever role that people thought I played in this, whatever offense that I brought to your family, being mayor of the city of Chicago and at the helm of the ship, I own that there are some things that I should have done, I should have tried to do better.
What were those things?
Morning quarterback. I am sorry, and I'm asking you to forgive me. I'm asking your family to forgive me. As a man of God, I felt like I had a moral responsibility to forgive him. Now, others don't feel that way. They don't feel that way, I believe, because number one, most people don't want justice. They are not looking for justice. Most people are looking for revenge. We are not looking for revenge. Our family has never looked for revenge. If you check every newsreel, every interview, every paper that I've ever been asked that question, you will always hear me say that we don't want revenge. What we want is justice. And people, it does not serve justice. It does not serve justice for us to continue to bird dog a man who has asked for forgiveness. The President of the United States of America and whatever committees that they put together have examined Mr. Emanuel, and they feel like that he is the right person to represent this country.
Wait, stop. That wasn't us either. That wasn't us. I need to go back. Let's play this again. Everybody slow down and listen.
You will always hear me say that we don't want revenge. What we want is justice. And people, it does not serve justice. It does not serve justice for us to continue to bird dog a man who has asked for forgiveness. The President of the United States of America and whatever committees that they put together have examined Mr. Emanuel, and they feel like that he is the right person to represent this country on an international level. In fact, for the fact that that is what is going on, that is what they felt like they wanted to do, I felt like it was not my responsibility to go up and get involved in that on that level. I only got involved in these cameras and in front of these cameras this way because my flesh and blood died. There are people that are going out trying to represent my family, and they've done it over and over again since 2014, and they've raised billions of millions and billions of dollars. Black Lives Matter have raised millions, hundreds of millions of.
I want to pause you right there. So, when I tell you that I really don't like to be played like a sucker, we know, particularly for the What's in It for the Black People media, that Laquan McDonald and the Black Death has been pimped by Black Lives Matter. What I feel like is happening right now is an obvious attempt to reach an audience that is like their bullshit meters, their BS meters are going off. And we all know that we don't feel Black Lives Matter and we don't feel all of those people. But this goes back to my point yesterday of saying, should we stop caring at the settlement? Because I want you to listen to the pastor as he tells the people, listen to the pastor. And this, and let me say this. That this part of this speech was not just for Black Lives Matter. This part of this, and this is why I gotta ask one more time, do we let the family make the decision and then we tap out? Because I want you to pay attention. There's a little bit of jealousy in here, right? It's a little bit of jealousy, and the concern about money also just really bothers me. But I want y'all to listen because I want you to hear if I hear what I hear. You hear what I hear.
Dollars off the back of Laquan McDonald, off the back of Reverend Hunter, off the back of other families that have lost loved ones. Off the death of black people, they've raised money and used the money for their own politically motivated gain. They've not put one dime back into the black community. They've not put one dime into the household to make those families better on any level whatsoever. I'm not interested in having this conversation about criminal justice reform because I need to enrich myself. I'm interested in having it because I don't want my nephews and nieces to be in danger of being killed because the people that are doing the killing and which we pay to protect us feels like that they can do it and nothing will happen to them. Until we change the system, as I close this, until we change the system that hired Rahm Emanuel, we will never change the decisions that the mayors that are in that system make. And if you don't believe me, Anjanette Young just had a terrible thing happen to her under this mayor that we had. And what happened...
Pause. Anjanette Young actually happened under Rahm Emanuel. Stop it. It happened under the same dude you standing up here defending. She continued it, but the justice that you... But again, this is all pivot.
To her under this mayor, she made the same decisions and the same postures that the previous mayor before her made. Why did it happen that way? Because the system in which they are working for, that they're just a mayor, they're just working for, that system has a process. And that process, as long as it is in play, is unfair to black people. And so I am saying, let us change the system. You all love Laquan McDonald. Stop trying to raise money. It don't take money to change the system. It takes people rising up and unifying their voices in one. People are angry at me as a pastor for forgiving a man that asked for forgiveness. They're angry at me as a pastor because I choose, and my family has chosen not to go out and to continue to try and demonize Rahm Emanuel. I didn't vote for Rahm Emanuel in the second election, but he won overwhelmingly against my voting. However, once I met him, I began to think about what am I asking for? I am asking for justice. I'm not asking for revenge. And if I'm asking for justice, justice is that we move on from where we are and begin a new way of living in this country. And that is talking to our elected officials, talking to you, Mr. President, and asking you to take serious my appeal, to go to Ms. Pelosi and talk to her about the letter in which I sent you guys, so that we can come to Chicago and other cities and have real conversations about criminal justice reform. That is what I believe we need. That is why I was able to write this letter on behalf of Mr. Emanuel in good conscience. Black Lives Matter have their own political agenda. They need to find their own way to raise their money, not using my family and families like mine across the length and breadth of this country to enrich themselves. And that's why I did what I did. That's why, and I just wanted to talk to everyone and let you know exactly what we are trying to do. I want to help all of our people, not just some. Thank you all for coming.
So, some people might look at your actions and think like, oh, you could have demonized him but done nothing, but obviously you chose to send a letter. Can you kind of talk about why you specifically took that action instead of, maybe just stayed on the sidelines and not said anything either way?
People stayed on the sidelines and Laquan McDonald died. This is not the first time that the Uniform Disciplinary Peace Officers Act was challenged. It was challenged after the death of Chairman Fred. When he died, they went after and tried to change that. And they sat on the sidelines and let it go away. And Laquan McDonald was dead. They sat on the sidelines after I sent this letter to the Senate and sent a message to President Barack Obama, and it was ignored. And George Floyd is dead. They sat on the sidelines after I sent this letter to the Senate and sent it to both Republicans and Democrats. And Anjanette Young's house was invaded, and her 4th and 14th Amendment rights were violated because the Uniform Disciplinary Peace Officers Act gives the police plausible deniability as to those federal laws that pertain to us as a people. America, get real. Black people are citizens of this country. We don't have any other country. This is our country. We were born here, and the Constitution said that we have all rights as any other person. The 14th Amendment is what gives us that. But the Uniform Disciplinary Peace Officers Act skirts and subverts the 14th Amendment. We must change that act across this country if we're going to have full citizenship in this country.
Yeah, I guess does, the ambassadorship, work towards those goals? I mean, why speak for that in particular?
Why? Because I was asked. Had I not been asked, I wouldn't have paid any attention.
Pause. Okay. Let's do this one more time. I'm going to try and take it back just a little. Because they asked him, well, why did you write the letter? He said he was asked. I want to know who asked you. But then I want you to listen.
In this country.
Yeah, I guess does, the ambassadorship, work towards those goals? I mean, why speak for that in particular?
Why? Because I was asked. Had I not been asked, I wouldn't have paid any attention. I didn't seek him out to help him become ambassador.
And who asked you?
Pardon me?
Who asked you?
Well, as we began to dialogue back and forth, no one asked me. As we began to dialogue back and forth,
Okay, let's do this again. Hold on.
Why speak for that in particular?
Why? Because I was asked. Had I not been asked, I wouldn't have paid any attention.
Okay, did I hear that? What did he? They said, why did you write the letter? Because I was asked. Okay, we're gonna listen to this. This is within the same minute. Okay, just listen.
I didn't seek him out to help him become ambassador.
And who asked you?
Pardon me?
Who asked you?
Well, as we began to dialogue back and forth, no one asked me. As we began to dialogue back and forth, I began to see that my nephew.
Let's do this one more time.
The Uniform Disciplinary Peace Officers Act skirts and subverts the 14th Amendment. We must change that act across this country if we're going to have full citizenship in this country.
Yeah, I guess does, the ambassadorship, work towards those goals? I mean, why speak for that in particular?
Why? Because I was asked. Had I not been asked, I wouldn't have paid any attention. I didn't seek him out to help him become ambassador.
And who asked you?
Pardon me?
Who asked you?
Well, as we began to dialogue back and forth, no one asked me. As we began to dialogue back and forth, I began to see that my nephew.
Do you see why church is banned on this station? He is in a pulpit. Excuse me, he's not in a pulpit, but he is literally doing this at the altar. At the altar of God. Do y'all understand why there will be no... Riis, the Reverend finna get Church Chicago banned.
Nephew was being used to stop that from happening. And I realized that it was coming from the same people that had been raising money off the back of my nephew.
Now, I just need for y'all to also recognize. So, basically, somebody came to the Reverend and said, hey, them people making money off your name, and now that you ain't getting and now they about to block Rahm Emanuel, I can make you a national. Did you hear that? All that stuff about the Nancy Pelosi and talking to the Senate and into the House and all of that stuff? That's how you get you get a national organization, right? And basically what you do is you throw all of our talking points in it and then come back to us and say, hey, y'all, but I got this organization and now we can do X, Y, Z because Rahm done funded my block. But did y'all, this is all in the pulpit. This is why. Okay, I'm going to just keep on playing.
That letter was not about Rahm Emanuel. It was about sending a message to Black Lives Matter to stop it.
Okay, did somebody ask you to support the nomination of
No, I just told you what the reason that letter was written.
You said you was asked.
It was a letter to send a message to Black Lives Matter to stop it.
So Rahm Emanuel.
So you send a message to Black Lives Matter by writing a letter to endorse Rahm Emanuel. Like, do y'all see why I don't want to mess with y'all niggas? Do y'all see why I don't put my name on stuff? Do you see why that's why you don't see me at the big old press conferences standing up.
When I voted against Rahm Emanuel in his last election, I voted against Rahm Emanuel because I didn't like what had happened when my nephew was first killed.
Stop. We didn't find out about it until after the election. Bam.
But the city of Chicago voted him back in as mayor.
We didn't know. They held it back after the election.
I couldn't stop them, and I didn't demonize them because they chose to do that, because that's what democracy is about. I just told you point blank why I thought it made sense to me to support this number. Because they're trying to, if they get away with this, then they'll continue to use my nephew as a...
If they get away with what? Stopping Rahm Emanuel from returning to prominence? What's your job in returning him to prominence?
Ploy or a scapegoat for them to continue to do other things. Next, they'll try to use him to change the Constitution. It has to stop now.
Look at that.
I was going to print it out, but my printer ran out of ink. At some point, I will put it online and you can get it. But you can always
send it to me. I'll put it online.
Yeah.
I got a blue check. I'll put it up.
And are you concerned about, divisiveness in the...
Pardon me?
Are you concerned about the letter causing divisiveness in your congregation?
No. My congregation is solid. My family is solid.
Who go to that church?
They know They know it's not like we need to be in a position to control our own destiny and not allow people to take our loved ones and use them for their benefit. We have people speaking for Laquan McDonald that never met Laquan McDonald. Okay, have never met him, but yet they are speaking as if they love Laquan McDonald. I want to clear something else up. Laquan McDonald is not abused in his home. That came out in the court trial. Laquan McDonald went into a foster care, okay, because Laquan McDonald's mother was an underage young lady. And by her being underage, the great-grandmother took the baby. Laquan McDonald grew up in the same house with his mother and his great-grandmother. That's how Laquan McDonald got into the system in the first place. When Laquan McDonald did get abused, it was while he was in the system for 2 months. And we fought and took him out of the system and placed him back in the home of his grandmother and his mother. I just want to clear that up. And that's fact, before the records.
Mama D.
I have a question for you.
Go on, Mama D.
From Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution, radio and TV, host of Wisdom with Mama D. Pastor Hunter, you must forgive because that is your Christian mandate to do so. And however, as the great uncle of Laquan McDonald, like the great uncle of Emmett Till, Moses Wright, you both played a significant role. Mrs. Mamie Till Mobley once said she believed that all of America was grieving with her. And once we saw that tape of a 17-year-old teenager being shot 16 times and heard about the cover-up and the fight against releasing it, all of America was grieving, especially Black America, was grieving with you. And if you could put yourself in our place, like if we heard Mrs. Mamie Till Mobley saying to Emmett's lynchers, oh, we had lots of prayer sessions and we joked about this and that and we became friends. How do you think that those people who grieved with her is feeling. Forgiveness is one thing, but a letter to have this particular individual boast about it, and I am supported by the Black Caucus. It was a grievous thing. And if you could just step back and put yourself into the shoes of all of those that grieved along with Mamie Till and grieved along with LaQuan, what would your response be?
I would first look at the facts of each case. And when I look at the facts before this letter was written, I realized that Rahm Emanuel did not pull the trigger, nor was he not a party to the death of my great-nephew. Rahm Emanuel was a victim of the system that he was elected to and worked for. That system is our problem. And I will redirect my people and ask them to help me fight the system that is perpetuating the death of black young boys and girls across this country. And they're not getting justice. Many of these families have not gotten justice. My family received $5 million. Some other families received, I don't know what, less or more. But I'm telling you that the money does not take away the pain from those mothers. The money don't take away the pain from the sisters. The money don't take away the pain from the nieces and the nephews. It doesn't happen that way. That is not a cure-all when you've lost your loved one. The truth of the matter is, though, as a pastor and as a leader, all of a sudden I've become this leader that nobody has ever, that none of the people that could have put me on their program put me there to talk to me, to ask me things, to ask my opinion, to ask my advice. Many things have been done in the name of Laquan McDonald, and our family know nothing about it. These people just go out gallivanting on their own, taking the photos of Laquan, making shirts off of them, selling them, writing movies, being a part of movies, and so on and so forth. In the name of Laquan McDonald. They have created a cottage industry off the death of our black people. White and black people have done this. I am saying to you, Mamie Mosley Till would not have said that to the people probably that hung her child. I am not saying that to Jason Van Dyke. However, had Jason Van Dyke asked our family for forgiveness, Marvin Hunter would have forgave him, because I am under a divine mandate to do that. It is not mine to put him in heaven or to hell, because one day I'm going to need to be forgiven. And so I believe that whatever a man soweth, that shall he reap. Now, I forgave because that's who I am. That doesn't mean that I'm perfect. It doesn't mean that I don't get angry. It doesn't mean that I don't make mistakes. But it does mean that I have the ability to live as human beings without fighting as animals, always fighting as animals. Rahm Emanuel did not pull the trigger. Rahm Emanuel did not sanction the death. Rahm Emanuel had no knowledge that Jason Van Dyke was going to get out of that car and kill my great-grandnephew, shoot him 16 times before it happened. He was a victim of the system in which he worked for. A system that exists.
Rahm was a victim of the system that he worked for. Rahm might as well be in black.
Across the length and breadth of this country, that is getting worse. It is getting worse by the day, because now it has moved from just killing our people to killing them and then making other people rich. Black Lives Matter has made billions of dollars off the blacks of the black death, and nobody is outraged about it.
Just
and
don't
then
say
they're
black
making
death is a
political
hustle.
moves to change this country the way that they see fit. And they're not asking the family members. They're only using the names of the family members to push their agenda. I'm saying stop it. I asked the president to help me. Then I'm asking them to help me now. I asked the Senate to help me then. I'm asking to help now.
One final follow-up question. If Ron Emanuel, who did just work for the system, who was the leader as the mayor of the city, of the system, in a position to make some significant rulings on this system, if he is the victim, then who is Laquan McDonald?
Laquan, he's not the victim in the Laquan McDonald's murder. Okay. He's the victim in the system that he worked for.
That he controlled.
that
Open
he
up the
controlled
phone
and worked
lines.
for.
Reverend Hunter's trying to
He
call you.
doesn't control it. He worked for it. Remember, the mayor don't control the city. In fact, read the Constitution of the city of Chicago. Let me give y'all an education. The Constitution of the city of Chicago was designed to have a strong council and weak mayor.
That's right.
So that means, when read it, don't take my word for it. Google that, and you'll see that the mayor works for the city.
Brother Frank,
we as a people have relinquished our power and allowed the mayor to act as if they were judge, jury, and execution. But the truth of the matter is the law says that the mayor works for the city. We have a strong council and a weak mayor. We allowed the mayor to do what he did. And how can you be mad at a man for inheriting a system that was set in his favor? Pimps don't stop prostitution.
Pimps don't stop prostitution.
Pardon me?
In the pulpit.
System that was set in his.
That was set in play to work in his favor. He didn't take the job to become oppressed. He took the job because he liked what the job offered. Now, if you're going to be mad at him, you can be mad at him about that and say, well, okay, he was selfish. He shouldn't have did it. I never ran for mayor. I didn't run for mayor because, well, one, I don't know if anybody would have voted for me, but two, I just did not want to be a part of a system like that. Because I love my people.
So you wrote a letter to
I'm
him?
not in Lawndale because I have to be here. I'm in here because I want to be here. I'm kin to the three of the largest families in North Lawndale. Anything good or bad happens in this community affects me directly. And I never left. I love my people. I love my people. And I'm not anti-anybody, but I am pro-black. And the real truth of the matter is we must change the system so we can help black people.
That's where you're getting this.
Because the truth of the matter is all of this time we're wasting talking about my personal decision to write a letter. We should be using this time trying to figure out how to get up from under the oppression that
How
we
much
have.
time did it take you to write that
This illusion
letter?
we are free in this country. This illusion that we're equal in this country. Because we are 13 or 14% as a people of the population of the United States of America, but we are 98% of the prison industrial complex system, and ain't nobody saying nothing about it. Where's the outrage? The 13th Amendment, the B clause, has never been changed. We had a black president. We got a Congress now that we control, and nobody is talking about changing or amending the B clause, which says that as a black man, if I commit a Class X felon, I revert back to being a slave.
Was Rom going to do
that? And
that?
therefore due to be paid slave wages. We have more people in slavery now than we had at the height of the Emancipation Proclamation. Where's the outrage? And you mad at me? For doing what I ain't never told nobody I wasn't a preacher. I ain't never told nobody I didn't believe the stuff that I preached. And every interview that I've ever had, I've talked about justice. And that's all I'm on. I don't hate anybody. I talked about justice. But I am pro-black. I want our people to be better. Not bitter, better. That's all I have.
That's it. Let's wrap it up.
Thank you all for coming in. Thank you.
All right. Maze Jackson Show. Phone lines are officially open. Let me get the phone lines. 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. I want to know what your thoughts are. I said I wasn't going to interject, but there was moments when I just had outbursts. I know Reverend Hunter is looking to call in. I don't know if he's made it on the line yet. Reverend Hunter, the lines are open. But I want to make sure everybody who heard, I want to, y'all always hear from me in my opinion. I would like to know what your thoughts are. Give us a call. 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Riis, thoughts? Thoughts. You do know that you might have to call Church Chicago. You might have to call them and tell them they got to take something.
I really think that Church Chicago is not with them. Like I really do. I guarantee.
Riis, I just don't trust. This is why I feel like I got trust issues with the church.
I don't know which one is the pastor. I got 5, 6, 7 calls.
Hunter, let's open up the phone lines. I'm going to just take the phone calls. I'm going to ask you to speak. I'm trying to find Reverend Hunter. Matter of fact, callers, if we take your call and you're not Reverend Hunter, because we're going to let him speak first. So if I take your call, don't hang up. Don't hang up. We're gonna go through the calls, and then we're gonna try and get Reverend Hunter to talk, and then we're gonna take your call. So don't hang up, even if Reis puts you back on hold. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Reis, take the call. Caller, are you there? Hello?
1 second.
Okay. Oh, because I had the road on, right?
Yeah, I'm switching to the road.
All right, so hold on, y'all. Give us a second. 872-259-7474. It is the Maze Jackson Show. I got a lot of feelings. I got a lot of things. I was screaming. And I also need to check on Carolyn Ruff, because Tiger told me that she got hurt while she was over there yesterday. So I want to make sure that Carolyn, somebody send me a note to let me know that Carolyn, one of our true freedom fighters, is okay. This is the Maze Jackson Show. Caller, you are on the Maze Jackson Show. Who's this?
What's her name? Todd.
Oh, Todd, you got to hold. We're trying to get Hunter first. So hold on.
Okay, go.
Next caller. Caller, you on the Maze Jackson Show. Hello? Hello? Caller?
Hello?
Hey.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Is this, James, you got to hold on. We looking for Reverend Hunter. Hold on. Don't hang up. Caller.
Okay.
Next caller. Caller, are you there? We're looking for Reverend Hunter. Are you Reverend Hunter? Caller?
Maurice,
hold on. We're looking for Reverend Hunter. Next caller. Caller, you on the...
hear that because the next one is Roosevelt and Mama D.
All right, so we're looking for Reverend Hunter. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Tyrone, I'm going to let you... Hey, bro, but you can't do the Tyrone. You got to do it. You got to give me like a minute and a half, and then you got to wrap it. Hey, man, you stole my spot on Chicago Tonight, man. I seen you on Chicago Tonight. You know that's my show. They won't let me on. I'm like, how Ty got my spot? Ty, you on the Maze Jackson Show. What's up, man? Tyrone, he was the first one. Tyrone Muhammad.
Yes.
What's up, brother?
I'm here.
90 seconds.
That was a serious issue, though. Yes, sir. That was a serious issue for Chicago tonight. Us trying to get that parole issue passed for our people. But here we got it.
Get this one. I'll give you a show.
All right, back. But that's what I'm saying. Here's a man talking about criminal justice reform. When we out front, these pastors don't show up for stuff like that. That takes a lot of grit and grind to make things happen. But they always stand in front and center when they're trying to pimp black people. And this is the thing. We confront this man, talk about forgiveness. We confront this man at his church yesterday. He even put Greg out. And he want to stand up like a gangster when somebody coming up in there talking to him and talking about this is church. I'm going to tell you, pastors, that listen, your churches are not churches. Don't treat the church like a church when you're in there changing money. Those are money changing centers. And we have been standing forever that black stuff is a hustle. These individuals don't stand on the front line for no issues, real serious issues, standing for black people every day that we're fighting for, unless it's a camera and they can pimp the situation. Then they confront this crap. He want to, and when you confront him, then he want to try to call his cronies and friends to say that we disrespected his church, we did all of these. But this the same man talking to gangsters fighting one another. But this the same man talking about forgiveness for Ron Emanuel for being a part of the cover up the killing of his nephew. So I don't have much to say. That I told you before. That's why I don't mess with pastors and politicians. These PPs, I call them, they pee on your head and tell you it's raining, and we continue to support these clowns and let them stand in front of us. Every pastor should be outraged right now about this man. I'm gone.
Thank you, Ty. Ladies and gentlemen, here on the live line is Reverend Pastor Marvin Hunter. Pastor Hunter, we just played the press conference. I'm going to be straight up with you. I found it challenging, to say the least. Reverend Hunter, please help us understand what we're missing, what we didn't, what is it that I'm missing, and what is it that I don't understand in regards to why you felt the need to actually write a letter for Rahm Emanuel, and did someone ask you to write it or not? Talk to me.
Okay, well, first of all, let me say this, because this is my first time ever talking on the show, that I appreciate the fact that you allowed me to actually call in. I've been following you. I've been FBO in and came over with you. And so I'm on every day. I get up and I try to share and make sure that this goes out you don't have to agree with me to be a platform that is good for our people. And I think that you doing this sacrifice that you do is a good thing. Let me just say that. And I'm not saying that to try to win any friends. I'm just really saying it because I really believe it. And whether or not I'm ever on again, I'm going to continue to listen, and I want to encourage everyone else to do so. And I think you're doing a good work that's putting there.
Thank you. Thanks, Pastor. Yeah. And so let me say I appreciate all that. Let's get to it, though. Let's go. Talk to me. Help me understand what happened.
People don't, they're not, they're people on the both sides of this.
Are you on speakerphone, Pastor? Pastor, are you on speakerphone?
Hold on, let me say.
Take us off of speakerphone, because take us off of that because it's not clear, and I know everybody wants to hear.
Is that better?
That's much better. Thank you, Pastor.
Oh, okay. I apologize. And I only have a few minutes. I gotta go to the other show.
Okay.
But anyway, people on both sides of this. Some people hate Reverend Hunter. Some people think I'm the greatest in the world. The real truth of the matter is, all my life, for 50 years, I worked on behalf of my family and for Black people, and I've always been pro-Black. People, and when they're angry, they say different things. I'm just asking today, and I know you want me to answer your questions, but I need a chance to say this. Let's disagree without being violently disagreeable. What sense is it for us trying to hurt each other because we don't agree with each other? That's not going to solve any problems. Now, did anybody ask me the question? $1,000 question is: did Rahm Emanuel come ask me to write a letter, and did he offer me money? First of all, I've not made one penny off the Laquan McDonald piece, and if I had, believe me, by now somebody would have put that out there. And I want you to understand that my purpose in doing what I did for my great nephew it was never money. I have 3 nephews that got killed at the same time, and I fought just as hard for them as I have for Laquan. And if you look at me and Google me, you'll see that I'm always out there trying to fight basically for my family, not just Black people, but it be my family if you done got in trouble some kind of way or another. The other piece about it is, I hope I answered that question. No, point blank. In conversation, I dialogue back and forth with people about things that I'm going to do and that I'm doing after I talk with Ron.
So wait, back up. Pastor, wait. So did you talk to Ron about this letter or not?
Oh, before the letter was sent?
Yes. Did you talk to Ron about this?
Ron knows about the letter. He knew about the letter. He don't have the letter.
Did he ask you to send it?
To write the letter. No,
so who?
I'm telling you, he didn't.
Okay,
and he don't have a letter. I didn't give it to him.
Well, no, he has the letter because he was shopping it in.
I'm saying I got to clear it up because sometimes I speak.
Okay.
And people kind of don't. They're not reading in the letters. They don't know me. I got to be clearer. Okay. This is not something that I do all the time.
Okay.
Rahm Emanuel, I didn't send him a letter.
No, not him.
Did he ask me to write a letter?
Yes.
I did. Yes, sir. I did. Yes, I sent the letter.
So
I sent the letter.
And Ram asked you to describe how that conversation went. Pastor, I'm up for the ambassadorship, and they are used. So how did it go?
No, a mutual friend actually introduced Ram and I, and we began to talk. We was talking literally. I ain't telling you.
Okay.
And it's for your best interest that I don't. Listen.
That's not my best interest, is it? Go ahead.
Trust me. We talk offline. But listen, we just was talking. What he was doing, now I can't tell you that wasn't in the back of his mind. Now, if you're asking me that, I'm saying to you that we were talking and we started out trying to say to me how sorry he was about whatever role he played in the Laquan McDonald piece. That's what he started out doing. That's how the conversation started.
Got it. What role did he say he played in?
I'm angry.
What role did Ron
he says that being the mayor of the city, these are his words. He says, mayor of the city of Chicago, he has to own the Laquan McDonald mess up. He said he really should have, wish he would have, the tape could have been released quicker. He said that the legal department kind of was dealing with it. He said he never saw the tape. He told me that. And he said that and he was being advised to stay away from the tape. He was being advised to just don't get in it and kind of let the police department handle it and let the legal system do what it do. And he just kind of left it. And he said for a while he went away. And I want to clear something else up. Before the world saw the tape, we knew that the tape existed. The family didn't know. We knew it. And we were dealing with it. At that time, I had no idea that it would be turned into what it is now.
So back up. So y'all saw the tape before us, right? So did you see the tape before?
Yes, we did.
Did you see the tape before the election or after the election?
Oh, no. We saw the tape before. They had it. They gave us, we saw the tape. They took us to the lawyer's office, me and Tina and us, and we saw it. And they asked me, now let me say what I did that people may disagree with. They were saying, man, should we let this out? I said, hold up. I said, I want this guy to go to jail because I'm going to be honest with you. They were really trying to get my niece to sign some stuff saying that they would do a settlement with us. But they wanted her to sign something saying, and this is our prayer, that we wouldn't try and prosecute this officer. And I told them, no, we're not. She agreed, and that's the premise in which we fought this. Okay, and that's just it. Now, I just want to say this, and I'm gonna back up off of this because people's opinions about this on this station is real strong, and that's their opinion. But my opinion about what I did in forgiving and writing that letter is strong. And I did it because I wanted, and you're right, Maze, I was looking for a platform so that I could say the stuff that I said about the Uniform Disciplinary Peace Officers Act because they were muting my voice and they act like they didn't hear me. And I really do in my heart believe that act is used to keep us enslaved. It's used to keep putting our brothers and sisters in jail. It's used to make sure that we never be anything in this country. And that act needs to be changed. Other than that, I'm gonna be quiet at this point. You are not wrong when you say that. I used this as an opportunity to get the platform so that I could talk about that. Now, whether people believe it or not, that I can't force you to do anything. But I'm telling you what I was on and what I was on then, and that's what I'm on now.
Pastor Hunter, will you now have an ongoing national platform? Do you believe?
I can't see, Mace, that's the thing. The way I look and the way I sound is not really the way I am. I'm not sophisticated enough to know if that is going to take hold and going to happen. Now, if it does, it does. I was on WGN on yesterday, their national radio, and I talked about the Uniform Disciplinary. So every chance that I get to speak, that's where I go because that's what I'm really trying to do. I want that act changed because if they can get rid of the 14th Amendment, we are not citizens in this country. And they could continue to do anything they want to do to us as a people. I'm not, one of these guys that got no voice where I can just call and everything happen and so on and so forth. You all are actually making me, bigger than life, I guess, just talking about me over and over again. But the truth of the matter is, I don't want my people to keep dying and going to jail. And I hope you was just, I thought it was part of your show. I hope you would just jive when you're saying you think about getting off because you can't, because you give up a lot of education, you understand things. I don't agree with everything you say. I'm not saying in life say that. Sometimes I be want to choke you. But the truth of the matter is you be on point on a lot of stuff. And if we don't get this message out, then where else can we go and get it?
Let me ask you this, Pastor.
So if they hate me, they hate me. I mean, that's it.
So, Pastor, I'm gonna say I don't necessarily care for the decision, but I respect your willingness to do that. Let me ask you though, do you feel any sense of response? And I know you targeted Black Lives Matter, and you talked about people making movies and money and millions of dollars off of Laquan McDonald, but let's move those people out of the way. Let's talk about all the people who were on the streets, all of the people who poured into that moment. Is there anything you feel like this letter got you or moved you forward? Like, see, like if you told me that at the end of this you was gonna have a platform and that you could fight this and they guaranteed you X, Y, Z, right? I probably, even though I wouldn't have agreed that, I understand politics and I'm pretty transactional with that. And if it's going to, like, Maze Jackson, I could probably rationalize that. But if you don't have a guarantee of anything, what does it say to the black people who didn't get a penny, who didn't say anything, who was out there fighting? Like, you couldn't forgive that man without giving him a letter? Like, without, because essentially, and let me just say this. Go ahead.
I'm saying to you, because I've got to get off. I'm saying to you this. Listen to me. We fight the way we fight. You asked me what was my end goal. My end goal is to get a platform to talk about the Uniform Disciplinary Peace Officers Act and to get a national conversation going around it and to tell as many black people and white people as I can that is a wrong act and that act needs to change. That is the thing, that is the glue that is being used to keep slavery in this country and to keep black people poor and incarcerated. That's why they're not letting our brothers out of jail. That's all of that stuff. It's all about money. The monies that I'm talking about was not about monies that little guys off the block may have got or some people, local people may have got. I'm talking about these people raised billions of dollars. Them one people right here, just right here in Chicago off the block that made that. These people are in high places and they're taking that money and they're using it for their political interests and not ours. And so I create a scenario where I could say it, and then people like you can take it and run with it. You're smarter than me politically, so you can probably take what I'm doing, analyze, and go to the next level. The next brother, now the brother Tyrone Muhammad, and the guy that did come to the church, and I asked him to leave, and they didn't. And he's not lying to you. I got angry because if I come to your house and you ask me to leave, and I tell you I'm not, that would make you angry. And the man in me rose up. The man in me rose up. Okay? And the reality of it is, that's not the way to do it. And I've been a supporter of Mr. Muhammad. I have not been against him. He threw the brick in after getting out of jail. He could have went back to jail for a million years. He's trying to stand on a few issues. But the truth of the matter is you can't go to people's house and just do what you want to do, whether you believe it. I don't come to the mosque and tell the people in the mosque that I'm not going to leave. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. That's not right. And that ain't how you respect a black man. The liberation of our people has to come first. Start with the respect of each other. I'm on your show, and I'm gonna respect you. If y'all curse me out and you let them do that on the show to me, then okay, I'm gonna be quiet because I want to be here so that I can at least tell the people, look, I love y'all. It was out to how you feel, and I'm gonna keep trying to help my people.
All right,
Pastor. Win, lose, or draw.
Pastor Hunter, that is, I'm not. It is not my job to judge your statements. Pastor Hunter, I will tell you, and this is just Maze being straight up. To see that was a gut punch. This is Maze Jackson personally. To see the letter was a gut punch. Because it does feel like they know there's no insult level, there's no any. And I understand the ability to get a national platform, and it's like all of those different things, and it comes at a cost. And I think everybody has either a number or a cost. And I think apparently somewhere in this space, it was a number or a cost to get to where you wanted to get, right?
It was a cost. It was a cost.
Okay.
I could be honest with you, Katie, on the Maze Jackson show. It was a cost of losing the respect of the people, of the audience of West Indian for the black people. A lot of people were saying to me, don't go on there, don't talk to them. They don't matter. It ain't but 5 of them. They were saying all kind of stuff to me. And I was saying, the heck with what y'all talking about. I've been with West Indian for the black people since he started, since he's been over there. And so I disagree. I agree. But at the end of the day, it's important. All it takes is a small flicker, and God will blow a wind on it, and it'll turn into a bonfire. And I think that it was important, and that's why I'm here. I didn't know what y'all was with a person out, whatever you want. Because people are saying some real tough stuff. Look, I'm from Chicago. I didn't come here. I'm not some of them preachers that you meet from somewhere else down on the farm or whatever. I believe in everything all these Negroes live here. I'm straight up off of 16th Street. I'm out of K-Town. But the truth of the matter is, I'm here with a love for my people, not to hurt them, to help them. I don't want to fight. I don't want to argue. You know, and I forgive my people just like I forgive Roman names. Like, I ain't mad at Mr. Muhammad and the young man. I think his name Greg. I see he sent me a text too. I'm gonna respond to that today. I have no issues. I just want us to move forward and find a way to help our people. If Reverend Hunter is not doing it the right way, cussing me out ain't gonna help me learn how to do it the right way. Tell me what your solution is, and then if I agree with you, I'm gonna work with Grudge, join hands, and go. I bet you I probably gonna spend more money in the revolution of this than a whole lot of people that's talking.
All right, Reverend Hunter.
And I don't got no money.
Reverend Hunter, let me say this. I say it's courageous to come on. It was courageous to do what you did. I don't know courageous for who, and I don't know that. I'm not 100% sure, my brother, that is going to inspire the change that we need, because I think I'm not sure. So, Reverend Hunter, but I will tell you, I respect you standing up to and coming to the den and talking. And I think that people have very strong opinions on this, because we all spent 7 years, and whether we attended a march, whether it was we stayed on top, we said we wasn't going to forget. And I got to say, like, that in the invoking of Anjanette Young and all of those different things, Pastor, it just puts a spin. And yeah, we only got six live viewers. Nobody cares about what we do, right? So you tell all the people they was probably right. You tell them. No, you tell them. Don't nobody care. And I know you do. I know you've been with me for a long time, right? That's part of the reason that we had this respectful conversation on there. Because I'm going to tell you, Pastor, I'm upset. I'm bothered. I'm bothered. I'm upset. And I have expressed my displeasure at a variety of levels. And now that you just said what you said, right? I'm about to express it again, because there has to be an insult level. I don't care who is involved. There has to be an insult level. They got to know that at some point, like, they can't, even to the OGs, there has to be a point when they be like, there has to be a point. And I'm a say I was reading between your lines.
I believe, may I say this? I believe if you and I would begin to sit down and dialogue, this is the truth. I'm saying this. And just begin to talk and talk. Once we get past the shock and awe of whatever this is, and you bring others and I bring others to the table, we could come up with a way to build off of this momentum that will help our people for ages and ages to come. I'm telling you what my goal is. I want to change the Uniform Business Peace Officers Act across this nation, because that act is being used to subvert, to go around the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment is what makes us citizens in this country. And they let everybody benefit off of it but us. And people like you and others, you know, not just you personally, but others, even some of the people on your feed, if those minds, we were all in a room and we were putting it together, we could force this country to be right by us. And then our children and grandchildren, I saw your grandbaby, that beautiful grandbaby, would not have to live under the same stuff that we living under right now.
So, Pastor,
now, whether people want to believe that or not, whether they like it or not, if something like that happen, I'm at the table and I'll do what I can to make it, you know, try to help our people. You know, just to help them.
So, Pastor, I'm going to just say this. So, and I'm going to say that in sincerity. If that be the case, then before you cut the deal with the dude, right? Before you cut then you got to lay it out to the people, right? See, what they do is they tell you, and they'll tell you all the good stuff, and they'll justify you, and they'll give you all the reasonings why you should do it and why it makes sense. But you got to be able to say, that shit ain't working with nobody black. But when we sit there in that meeting, when we sit there in that meeting and they done already worked it out in their minds.
Maze, I gotta go. I gotta get to the next show. I apologize to the Black People family. Did y'all kick me out? Should I stop listening or should I keep listening? Did I get kicked out or what?
Nah, you saw I said everybody stays. We don't kick nobody out unless you the mad rapper. Okay. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back. We'll continue this.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
We'll continue the conversation when we come back after these messages. I want to take your calls. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
WIIFTV PM.
Critic Relationship Hour with Gina B. Why you are not married. Number one, you ain't all that. I know that's hard for y'all to swallow. I don't look as good as my 22-year-old self. People need to realize that. You just ain't all that. And I get it. I got this master's degree. I went to this school, that school. I worked hard for this job, for this house. And then she over there got that man. And you don't have one. Men are very simple creatures. So, ladies, for you very accomplished ladies, I got some advice for them.
What's that?
I always say it like this. You can write this one down. Be a kitten, not a cat. What does that mean, Chris?
What does that mean?
You ever played with a kitten? It's real friendly. It almost acts like a puppy. And you want to play with it. You want to look at the little kitty. It just makes you feel good. Now, have you ever seen an adult cat? When it feels like it might rub against your leg and move away. But is that men like kittens?
Kittens will play with anybody. A cat is particular.
Listen, what did we learn? Men are very simple creatures.
Right.
You can fool us. We want you to laugh at our dumb jokes. So all you super smart women out there, you good looking women, you see a guy you like, you guys do make it out on a date, he actually pays for the date. When you're actually with that person, the dialogue is happening, the dinner is happening, you say, okay, this might work, this might work. It would help if you act a little blind.
Oh my God, Becky.
I mean, you're going to hear me say that a lot. Be nice too.
So you
hit a worst joke ever, but if you sort of like them, laugh at it. There you go. Hey, it's a lot of married women out there. If we got any married women chiming in, if I'm telling a lie,
that one's a fake laugh.
Let me know. Right.
What you're saying is that we should cater to the male ego, and that's what's ultimately going to get us married.
I'm first saying recognize that I think some of us, more women than men, look in the mirror. You ever seen a little lion look in the mirror and see somebody real big? They see somebody a little more fine than what they are. And I'm not calling anybody ugly, so I'm not here to bash anybody.
Let's look at Middle America, okay? Middle America is not attractive.
They're not?
Middle America is largely married.
Okay, I think we're on the same page there. People sort of, we get stuck to reality shows sometime and think we're supposed to have, I got a degree in a house, so I'm supposed to have Idris Elba or his twin.
Well, I mean, if you notice, okay, so you remember your friends from high school, right? And you remember how they had all of these qualifications for, if she's going to lock me down, she got to be this, that. She's got to have an ass like that.
That's all we really looked at. Stop right there. You had me at. That's really what I mean.
And now, traffic and weather.
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 8:08 a.m. and I'm Riis the Ruler. We're at your Chicagoland area sports, traffic, and weather update. In sports, the Blackhawks lose 4-1 over the traffic on the Kennedy O'Hare to the Loop. 39 minutes outbound to O'Hare 18. On the Eden inbound from Deerfield to this change, 45 minutes, and change back to Deerfield will be 28. The Eisenhower, Thorndale to the Loop, 46 minutes, back out to Thorndale, 34. On the Stevenson from I-355 back to the Dan Ryan, 58 minutes, outbound will be 48. The Bishop Ford, I-80 to the Dan Ryan, 36 minutes, 28 minutes, back out to I-80. The Dan Ryan is 20 minutes to the Loop, 15 minutes, back out to 95th. Dusable Lakeshore Drive south is still 7 minutes, 55th to Jacksonville, Jackson back out to 55th, and 8 minutes north Randolph to Bryn Mawr, and Bryn Mawr back out to Randolph. Today's weather is currently 46 and partly cloudy. Today will be a high of 55 with a low of 43. I'm Riis the Ruler. After hearing that, here's terrorism here on the Mays Jackson Show.
Releasing what it calls a new strategy to fight domestic terrorism. Following a 100-day review, federal officials are now laying out a new plan hoping to deter, detect, and prosecute domestic terror.
They went to the Capitol waving their flags and looking for smoke. He was out there looking for justice. They was over there looking for votes. Ashley Babbitt was with him and told all the people that nothing could stop us. She climbed through the Capitol window, breached security, and called a shot, bro. The media say she a veteran. They paint the picture to make her look greater. But she disrespected the same country that she served. That makes her a traitor. They was fighting police, resisting arrest. On God, I couldn't believe it. I guess blue lives only tend to really matter when it's convenient. Hey, these are the times we witness in history, all because they didn't get a victory. United States is so contradictory. We get equal rights, that's a mystery. Politicians, they more like magicians. You know they got tricks up their sleeve. We point out the flaws that's up in this country. You know they gonna tell us to leave. Somebody try to help me understand it. Always seems like a double standard. They be out here leaving us empty-handed to certain rights we are not granted. The media's is the culprit when it comes to the comparison. Cause when it comes to race, they always changing up the narratives. Terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. We still out here trying to get our reparations, but the government pump faking out here hesitating. I'm out here trying to keep my peace, so I keep meditating. The media make us look bad, they taint our reputation. Look, it's so sad that COVID causing toe tags. You claim you so patriotic, but you ain't wearing no mask. You out here wildin' with your MAGA flags and showing your ass. You wanna be part of some type of revolution so bad. Look, you talk revolution and constitutional rights only. I guess we forgot about back in the days when all of the business was whites only. Yeah. George Floyd got justice. Juneteenth got much respect. They made it a national holiday. Man, it's all good, but cut the check. They giving out all of these vaccines, putting it in you like caffeine. Was it all in the part of the plan? I bet money like DraftKings. It's land of the free, home of the brave. 1776, we wasn't free till 1865, so we wasn't part of that shit. And that there's terrorism.
Terrorism.
It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. You know, we was getting ready to go through. I think Ness, shout out to my man Loch Ness Monster and terrorism, because I think we just saw domestic terrorism. I got to be honest with y'all. I don't know how to take that last interview with Pastor Hunter. So we played I had fun. I was planning to have fun at 8 o'clock. Like, I was going to find out what is the capital of the Southland, right? Is it Dalton? Is it Harvey? And then we had that conversation. And so I went to the bathroom, and as I'm going to the bathroom, I hear, bah, 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 bah. I'm like, I ain't getting no phone call. So, bah, 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 bah. So now I'm in the stall, and then I check my phone, and it's Sister Africa, and she like, Will Calloway is at the door. I'm like, what? We in New York City? What this Hot 97? What's this? The Breakfast Club? Well, we are. Yesterday I asked a social media question because after I saw the letter and the story, it was a gut punch for me, right? I just was like, who in the world advised this man to do this? Like, and I've seen every Negro preacher trick. I told y'all as a practitioner of the dark arts. There was nothing you could have told me to make me believe that there was a black person that would sign a letter absolving Rahm Emanuel of, like, even if you felt it, even if you ain't, just your code of blackness says to me, I can't do that. So yesterday when I saw that, I said, man, maybe it's just not my business. And I feel like Reverend Hunter told me it wasn't my business. He said, all these people making money, movies, families, Black Lives Matter, everybody pimping, making millions of dollars off the death of Laquan McDonald, not him, not the family. I was like, y'all got 5 stacks. Five, not stacks. Y'all got 5 mil. But that's a whole nother story. And then I'm not even gonna lie. I took a bit of offense. That's the reason I'm letting you in, because I took a little bit of offense. I took offense because I said, at a certain point to me, Laquan left the realm of his family and became the embodiment of the birth of what is this new era of the Chicago millennial movement. And you wonder about intergenerational disconnects. It's shit like that. Like, that's a moment when you just say, Femo, I can't, even if I don't care what the deal is, I can't do that just for all the black youth who saw themselves embodied in that. You might even, you could have had one of them church meetings where y'all absolved, but you wrote a letter and put it in writing that essentially gave this man absolution once again, he ain't even asked for forgiveness. He ain't even admitted that he had a problem. So this is what I'm going to do. Because I got to go to my phone lines. But, Will, I'm going to turn the mic over to you. I'm going to give it to you. Got till 8:20, and then you can sit in with me for the rest of the time. But you got 8:20 to say what you got to say. Say it.
Cut the cap. Just cut it. Just cut it. Just cut it. Anybody who's been following me for the past 5 years, 6 years, know I have never, ever said anything disrespectful, anything distasteful about Laquan's family. Never have. Never have. Always was gracious. Always was understanding. Always was empathetic to his family. But this dude, to get on here and act like that, I'm tired of it. The first time I met this man, I sat in his office at his church, and he told me that he saw that tape.
He told us he saw it.
He told me he saw that tape, and he had to make a decision, too, not to release that tape with the lawyers. This was a conscious decision that he made. He co-collaborated with the city for that tape not to be released. They didn't just get him $5.5 million. This is public information. It wasn't that they just gave him $5.5 million off the rip. It was a structural settlement, meaning I'm going to give you installment payments. You keep this video to yourself. You can't release it, and I'm going to pay you every month this amount of money for these remainder of the years. This man doesn't... Listen, Laquan McDonald died as a ward of the state. Where was all this? What was all this when he was alive? Why was he walking down Pulaski feeling like how he was feeling at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night? Where was all of this then? Where was that support wrapped around him then? He died as a ward of the state, period. Which means legally, we the people of the state of Illinois has much say-so about his justice as anybody else. He didn't have no legal guardian. The boy was homeless, in and out the Audi home. And you made it a great point that I myself saw the embodiment of myself in him. How many times that I was a teenager and the Jakes pulled their pipes on me, and I could have been dead. It's absolutely disrespectful for him to sit up here and think it's okay to sign anything off Rahm Emanuel. Rahm, to this day, has not admitted any wrong for that. And you want to talk about forgiveness and using the scripture. The word don't mean I could forgive you and hold you accountable. That don't mean I can't hold you accountable because I forgive you. I forgave Jason Van Dyke way before the trial. That means you still got to go to jail, though, player. That don't mean I don't forgive you. I can forgive you, love you, and you still got to go to jail. You still got to be held accountable. That's not holding Rahm Emanuel accountable. That's giving Rahm Emanuel another open door to be rebranded.
I told you.
Rebranded and reinstalled on a public platform. On a public, national, federal platform. They're setting him up to get in play for 2024. And you giving this man a leeway after, it's not just Laquan. Laquan is not an isolated incident. Laquan represents hundreds of African Americans that were shot in this city. Dozens that were murdered by Chicago police. That's disrespectful, and then you want to hide behind that pulpit and wonder why people don't have faith in the church. It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to me. It's disrespectful to people that put their life on the line and tabled everything they had going on because they felt like they was called by God. I know I was really called by God. I know. And you want to sit up here and use the pulpit and hide behind that? Nah, man. That's not the God I serve. And for people that's non-believers, that's not we're serving. Me and him and I are serving two different gods, bro. Period. My God told me that Rahm Emanuel needed to be held accountable. That the Chicago Police Department needed to be reformed, needed to be changed. Me and him are serving two different gods, fam. And I needed that. That's what pissed me off the most. Because it's pastors, black pastors, and faith leaders that do things like this that set us back. And then talking to me, he don't speak for me, and I don't really speak for his family. I never really have. I spoke for me. For anybody who really know me, I didn't get into activism because of Laquan McDonald. I got into activism because of a black woman named Rakia Boyd. That's how I got activated. And it was because Dante Servin got acquitted on April 20th, 2015 by Judge Dennis Porter in the Cook County Courthouse, where it was no media coverage, no activists. It was me and her family and this mug on the other side smirking when the case got dismissed. I was there for that. It was no national attention for that. That's how I got activated. That led me, because I had that anger and that fury in my heart for what happened, the miscarriage of justice for Rakia Boyd. That's what made me go get Laquan Public for Rakia. I didn't get activated by Laquan. That's just FYI. I'm doing this out my heart and a calling of God. But for that man to get up on here, Joe, and just cap like that is disrespectful. People have legit laid their life down for this, man.
So y'all got it.
It's colloquial. It's a colloquial terminology for fronting, deceitfulness, fraudulent activity, period.
Lying.
And he's big cap. Anybody like him is big cap, period. And what pisses me off again is they're using the guys of the church. Again, that's not the God I serve. That's not the God many of us serve, Joe. I don't know what arm and vein he operating out of. That's for God to judge him. But he not finna sit up here. I'm tired of holding this in, Joe, because he get up here and parade around like he cared about this boy so much. Where was you when he was in the street? Where was you when he was in and out the Audi home? Where was the love for Bum Bun then? Where was that love at then? You took 5.5 and connected Tina with the lawyers. Tina is his mother. Stop fronting, man. This been going on for years and got the whole city, man. Nah, bro, that stops today. That stops today. It's big cap. Rahm Emanuel should not be in position to do anything, period.
It's the Maze Jackson Show.
Period.
Hey, man, I be talking about the activist. I told you I was an activist for 1 week because y'all got too many rules and they change. And as much smack as I talk about people, I told you that this brother has been, when it was popular, when it wasn't popular, when it was cold, when it was hot, always there. I took a lot of offense to a lot of stuff, and I think the other part that I hear in that speech is, again, that continued division where, like, we fighting over, and let's back up. Talk to me about this. There was a lot of ego in that conversation, and and I feel like Laquan became us. I feel like when I remember talking to Mark Carter, and I was like, man, we got kids. We got to get down there. Let's go this. Let's open up the phone lines. Hey, y'all, it's Maze Jackson. I got my man Will Calloway. He busted in the studio. He ain't busted in. Got a home. Riis, open up the phone lines. Call us. What am I missing? Talk to me.
Mama D.
Hey, Mama D, I saw you yesterday putting it down in the press conference. I don't know that he answered the way we needed him to answer, but talk to me, Mama D. And I need you to do it quick. Do it quick for me.
It was before the press conference, the stare down and between the pastor and Tyrone Muhammad. Tyrone started cursing and started talking about an ASS whipping, and I bumped fists with Brother Hunter, and I said, "Let us pray." And that's it. Oh, it was raunchy. It was raunchy, and it was raw, and it was real. So, what did you think of what I had to say? My question.
I thought your questions were on point, and they nailed home what I think we were trying to get. Let's go to the next caller. Caller, you on the Maze Jackson Show. Caller?
Good morning, Maze. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Peace and love to Brother Will. Maze, you talk about an assault level. We also have to have an assault level. That brother sat there and asked you, am I still accepted at the table? Hell no, you're not accepted at the table, brother.
Hold on. Jay, real quick. He ain't coming to the barbecue, but he needs to stay in the den because y'all need to keep on cooking. Like, here's what happens.
Listen.
Go ahead.
Just listening to that press conference, just double talking, used car salesman, pork chop eating. I can promise you, the city Because everybody knew this boy was coming from a broken foundation. The family was destroyed. I guarantee you they sought this Negro out. They knew that Negro was out over there on the west side, and they knew what type of Negro they was dealing with. And this is why it was so easy to pull him in. I'm talking about that damn Reverend Hunter. They knew exactly who to go get. This Negro seen opportunity and money. You call him in so many goddamn lies. First of all, you said nobody asked you. Then you said Rom asked you. And then this is what got me. May, this is what burned me the fuck up inside. This Negro sat up there and said Rom was a fucking victim. Do you hear me? And you wonder why people stay out the goddamn church. This Negro said Rom was a victim.
I feel like can they at least whoever wrote your speech for you, whoever told you to come up here and say this, was you ad-libbing? Whoever wrote that and said Ron was that was him saying, let me show you what I could do. I'm gonna show you how much.
That was right up there with that Negro starting out with the letter. And he used his pulpit, like the brother said, to listen to this garbage. It's a damn shame. And he actually had the congregation that's feeding our people this garbage.
We should go to church on Sunday.
Hell no. He can't sit at the goddamn table. Take your ass to the back in the alley.
Oh, Jesus. All right, James, Big Slim Davis. And James, we're going to put him in the alley. You pick him up and push the button on him. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We got any more callers, Reis? Anybody got something to say? Callers, if you got something to say, give us a call, 872-259-7474. I need y'all to give my brother Will some encouragement, too, because Will, I'm going to just tell you something, dog. Like, you always got, like, this lighthearted spirit behind you. Like, for all the pressure, hey, Joe, I ain't never seen you steaming like this.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen you cooking. Like, you seem like you seem like I felt yesterday when they said that there was somebody walking around with a letter.
I'm hot, man. I'm hot. I'm legit hot, man. You got to understand with this man and his family, man, I've been holding a lot of stuff in for years, trying to cover them, trying to protect them, trying to pray for them. I had to forgive them. If you did that to my loved one, I'm not taking no money. That's just period. I want justice. But you will write a letter in support of him, and the man that killed your nephew is eligible to get released in a few months. Jason Van Dyke can be released from state prison unless the feds pick up the case. He can come home in less than 5 months. So you will write it. So basically, you're trying to put Rom in position to be federally promoted. And then also the murderer of your nephew could come home in a few months, and you think that's justice? That's justice for you. You feel comfortable enough after all this man has lied to our city, and not just for your nephew, but the Rakia boys, Rashad McIntosh, Michael Wesley's, everybody else in the city that we lost to police violence. You felt comfortable and content enough to do that? You telling me God told you it was okay to do that?
No, God didn't tell him that. It wasn't God.
It was no Holy Spirit conviction. It was nothing convicting you saying this not right.
What part of y'all don't? What part don't y'all get with the nigga preachers?
Come on,
I
man.
done told y'all. Do y'all understand? Like, preachers be mad. Maybe, Maze, why you be whooping on us so hard? Because where is the outrage from the black preachers? Like, have we all? And again, I'm gonna give you the ability to. I'm gonna give you.
There's no excuse.
No, because they know they can kill us and find a preacher to come up and say, Lord, to bless his heart, because I know that that's a job. There is a job for absolving white people that gets.
What angers me the most too, man, is what a lot of people don't know. I work with a lot of families across the city who have lost their kids to police violence. People whose kids were killed and they know they were innocently killed, and they don't have dash cam to prove it. They just know what they know. And they have to live for that justice for Laquan. They have to give justice for their kids vicariously through Laquan. He doesn't really understand that. It's people, it's mothers and families grieving in our city over injustice. And the only type of comfort that they can get is that justice vicariously through Laquan McDonald.
Did y'all hear the part where he said he saw? But and Will, you just highlighted. But did y'all? That was a little fascinating. I feel like I might have to go back and dissect it a little bit more because he did say I knew about the tape before the election.
Yeah,
right. But remember, so he just told us he knew about the tape before the election, and he didn't vote for him, but he didn't tell us.
He told me in his office, man. The first day we just did Laquan Day the other day, well, yesterday or the day before, which is the death anniversary of Laquan McDonald. When I first met him, it was in 2016 when we was about to do the very first Laquan Day. I met him at his church with another pastor friend of mine named Brian Dye from the West Side. He set up the meeting. The man told me in the meeting that he saw the tape. He knew about the tape. He saw the tape. And he made the decision not to release the tape. He thought that was in the best interest of his community. This is what this man
That's because the
me.
white people told him, if you let this out, they're going to go crazy and they'll tear up the neighborhoods and they'll tear up the city. And then it took white people.
So for 400 days, when did you think would have been a good time to talk about
They
the
never
tape?
wanted it to come out.
He never wanted the tape to come out. He wanted to take that money. He wanted to receive that money along with Tina Hunter, Laquan's mother, and they wanted to quietly go away into the sunset. And Laquan McDonald blood still would have been screaming out from the streets.
Hey, Joe, it's the Maze Jackson Show. We're going to take a quick break, and then we are going to be back. We're going to take your calls. I know we said tell me something good Friday. Yeah. And did I say I wasn't advocating for violence? I want to be clear. I'm not advocating for any violence at all. None. Zero, because he said that on the call. And, I think then there'd be police protection. The next thing they'll be like, I done whooped up and rounded up. No, I'm just.
It's never been a bloodless revolution after history. So.
See, that's the millennium. I'm 50 years old, man. I'm 50, man. I'm going to keep doing the radio. I'm going to be like boppers. We going to do like the Warriors. I'm going to be the announcer for it all going down. And what's old boy, not Radio Raheem, who was Sam Jackson in Do the Right Thing? It's the Maze Jackson Show. We come back. We're going to take your calls. We're going to continue this conversation. Will Calloway is sitting in with me. We are responding to Pastor Marvin Hunter's press conference and decision to write a letter for Rahm Emanuel. Cuz, you wrote the letter, though.
Yeah, that's OC.
That's
OC.
No, I don't know what that means either.
That's an acronym. Out of control.
Okay. I was just like, wait, you act at least, can I tell you? So if I was advising you, I'd be like, I probably would have even told you to testify before I would have told you to write a letter. To put the letter in writing so that it lives forever and people can say forever and ever and ever. Man, they can't make you walk that plank, bro. You get, unless they moving you to Washington, D.C. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
What's up, everybody? It's the green side of things. It's your man, Sadiq.
And Cassiopeia.
And we need you to
comment,
and share. We need you to do it right now and join us at our new day and time, Wednesdays
from 1 to 3 p.m.
on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
Stars were born to fly.
searching, crowding, looking for a way out. I've been hurting, falling, but I think I found my way now. I'm on my own, far from home, lost in space, in my zone. I found these truths, far from you, in my space, in a stellar mood. Yeah, I finally got my mind right again. Did it all in spite of the hate. Every time they said that I can't. Nebula, they run through my veins. Every molecule in the strands. Senses feeling some kind of strange. Damn, I think my name's Spider-Man. Jump out the window and swing for the dreams that just might be. Never gonna let go. No, to the man in the mirror look like me. Drifting through the cosmos. Oh, far away from your lies. I realign all my goals. That's a constellation of mine, yeah. I've been searching, crawling, looking for a way out. I've been hurting, falling, but I think I found my way now. I'm on my own, far from home, lost in space, in my zone. I found these truths, far from you, in my space, in a stellar mode.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man Will Calloway sitting there. Go ahead.
I just want to say, because you said so early, I am really a lighthearted person. We deal with a lot of trauma. I just got in therapy. I'm trying to really practice self-care. I was minding my business, enjoying your show like I always do every morning, tuning in, getting Starbucks, getting my tea. But when I heard him get on here and say what he said, man, I just got livid.
And clearly he wasn't dressed. He was out doing his thing because he came in. I feel like he got his sleep clothes on with a jacket. Yeah, right? He sleep clothes on with a jacket. And I heard, bah, 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 bah. So, I'd be like, I went to the bathroom. Bah, 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 bah. I went, came on back. Africa. Brother Will is outside at the door. I'm like, you know what? I was like, Reis, you've been scheduling people? But I was like, you know what? If anybody has a right, in my estimation, in this city, to speak, talk, share, communicate regarding Laquan McDonald, because when everybody else fell off, right, when the cameras went away, Will Calloway never stopped. Yeah, I gotta say, it's wrong. See, Pastor Hunter said he talked around. Then he told us he did ask him for the letter. Then he said he didn't ask him for. What, you think I just wrote a letter? Then he said they asked. Wait, which one? So I'm gonna go to the phone lines because I want to know what y'all heard. I want to know if y'all barbecue, cookout, what? We got 9. Okay, so callers, you're on the Maze Jackson Show. You costing me by the second, so get them calls out. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Caller, you're on. Go ahead.
Maze, this is Brother Roosevelt.
Roosevelt,
can you hear me?
What's up, brother? I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay, look, I'm going to say it this way. Black matter matters. Now, after having said that, because that Reverend Hunter has been serving the wrong God. Black matter matters. Secondly, we should use the opportunity to give him exactly what he wanted. He wanted a platform. But let's skew the platform as to these are the kind of people we need to corral. They are the enemy, and we need to watch them. Give him that attention. He wants that platform. Say, look at this. I listened to that man with my heart felt. It was pathetic what he was doing, but yet he said some things. I don't know if you missed. He said, look, I'll talk to you off the line because there's some powerful people. So maybe he was afraid. Maybe he really was afraid because he double talked and he says there was a go-between. Somebody came to him.
Stop, Brother Roosevelt. Brother Anthony Muhammad has dissected the letter, and he actually went to the intermediary to go to Rom. Right? So Rom didn't come look. He said, hey, and I know I done put the context clues together. So I know what happened. He went to the man, and the man said, hey, Mr. Man, can you give me the Rom and tell Rom I know he got some troubles. We worked it out before. I can help him get through. See, I like.
We need to put a picture. We need to put a picture with this guy's face on and say, this is what you're not supposed to be. If you got any black in you, the first black man got to have a prayer about black matter. And this guy ain't got it. I'm so emotionally amazed. I'm going to get off because I've heard what everybody's calling. They spoke the truth. It's a situation that we need to put him on Front Street and let that be a signal to all these other reverends out there that they got to go and really get educated on what religion does. It controls, it regulates, and it defines
Brother Roosevelt,
Christianity.
I got to stop you.
Yeah.
I got a bank full of calls. So, Brother Roosevelt, you know you are one of our senior elder members. So we got, you the president of the deacon board. We see you, We see you, Brother Frank. We see you out there. Brother Frank, president of the phone club. Hey, man, call us, too, because I know you feeling something. You probably going to call Reverend Al and tell him, call us. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Go to the next caller. Caller, you on the Maze Jackson Show.
Good morning, Maze.
Good morning, Sister Zakiya.
Yes, sir. I'm steaming and I'm smoking, but I got to say this real quick. Reverend Hunter was coming with just straight up double talk, and we all heard it. Straight up double talk like those pastors do when the enemy, Massa, go and get one of them to defend them. Now, Will, brother, I feel your pain because I was out there in the thick of those radical protests on behalf of Laquan McDonald. I feel you, brother. Always did, because I know you sincere and serious. But I want to say this about our sister Carolyn, a senior activist who was assaulted by one of Reverend Hunter's security men yesterday, and nobody that was there, nobody came to her aid, as she told me. I've been trying to get in touch with her to have her to call you. He shoved her to
Wait.
Shoved her to the ground. Scraped her arms.
Sister
she made a police report. Sister Carolyn, one of Reverend Hunter's security men.
He has security at the church?
Well, she said it was a security man or one of his men, period. I don't know. I wasn't there because I would have to. I couldn't have sat there and just watched a sister being mistreated. And I'm telling you, this reminds me so much of my involvement in the Caruso case, where I was assaulted, verbally assaulted by one of our people in our community in front of the Caruso family. And here, they insulted my sister yesterday. Nobody came to her aid, as she told me. Scraped her arm. She filled out a police report. I hope she bring assault and senior abuse charges against him, because Carolyn is in her 70s.
What?
And she's out here fighting. Yes, she is.
I'm gonna give her.
Yes, she is.
I'm gonna give her a call today, Sister Zakiya. Thank you for letting us know.
Nobody came to help her. Nobody aided that sister. See, sisters don't get what they deserve out here when brothers come against them. They just let brothers like me in my case with the Caruso case. The brothers that came to my aid, I didn't even know them. The ones I knew, they didn't even try to come to my aid. So I know the script out there.
I thought Tyrone Muhammad and them was there yesterday. It's hard to believe that Tyrone
I don't know.
Something like that.
Carolyn said nobody came to her aid.
I don't know.
Okay.
That wasn't an organized and informed protest either, though, Sister Zakiya. But we're gonna definitely get on top of that.
All right, thank you, Sister Zakiya. Hey, fellas, like y'all, we gotta get on top of that. That cannot happen. Carolyn Ruff is there for everybody.
That's facts.
She is there for everybody when nobody else wanted to shut down the beauty. She stayed out there for a year plus.
That's facts.
And got it done. Like anytime. And first of all, y'all know when something is moving, y'all get the seniors out the way.
Mm-hmm.
and Pastor Hunter. Like, regardless. I mean, and I understand you got security, and I know that, once you, let me just tell you, when you make this move like this, they guaranteed them, right? They was like, because they knew it was going to be a problem. So I'm telling you, you might be talking to some ninjas. You might be talking to some Israeli soldiers. You think I'm playing. When people are playing for all the marbles, there is no expense. Again, how many billions of dollars will come out of Japan? I can get this dude $250. You see, he said, I did it because I wanted a national platform. Well, what does Rahm's brother do? Create national platforms for people.
I don't understand. You on a national platform. Where's the national platform for the officer who killed your son? He coming home. He can come home,
hey,
man.
Joe, bro.
This dude is crazy,
bro.
Man.
Everybody, hey, Joe, you ain't learned about people being, don't make me turn to the mad rapper. I got fly shit, son. I get up. I be activist and stuff. I got my hair slicked back, son. I be seeing Will Calloway. He be out there. They be having cameras and Facebook Live with my shit not fresh, son. I got purple suits and shit, son. These young people stealing all my glory, son.
This dude is bad, dude.
I'm telling you.
Dude, crazy.
I know this. Hey, Joe.
I can't believe he said that he actually was aiming to get a bigger platform. I cannot believe you really.
That's
said
because
that.
y'all, it's like
it's crazy.
It's like certain people you give to deliver the message, and they can't deliver it, but they smart. So I really want to break this all the way down, because like listening to him and then listening to him talk. And then listen to what he tried to throw out there.
Come on, man. You come on and join us too, man. Come on.
If he was really sincere about getting justice for his nephew, he would have told Ron, well, okay, well, it's nothing I could have did. I can't even say that. I wouldn't ask Ron for anything. I ain't even gonna front, so I can't even say that.
And let me say that there's different levels to this, right?
I can't even say that.
And you can't.
Nah.
See, you can't even if it was the $1 billion deal, Will, you can't do it because it preserves your moral standing, right? Now, say that turned into a $1 billion program. You still couldn't sign off on it. Now, it could happen, and you could direct it and but you got to maintain your credibility with your people. And let me just help you understand that whoever got you to do that killed the last bit of credibility that you got with your people. So even with that platform that they promised you,
that's
right?
dead.
Like nationally, everybody is gonna put the brick on you. Like that's the black dude that came up here and said yes to Rahm, and in spite of it. So that credibility that they are pursuing you for, that they pumped you up to say, because somebody told you that we'll put the PR and all the stuff around you to go out there. That's why you had a press conference. That's why they told you're only going to explain it once. And what happened was you got cooked because the people who lied, who told you what we wasn't going to do, you be here every morning.
I just really want to say this to your callers because you asked me what's next. And I really want people to understand that, the U.S. Senate confirmation hearing has not been approved for Rahm Emanuel yet. And we still have time to organize around this issue to make sure that he's not confirmed. And I think one of the ways to do that is if Japan is the country that he's supposed to he could be potentially an ambassador to, we have to start reaching out to the Japan consulate and let them know that the American people, particularly the Black American people, do not want Rahm as U.S. ambassador. And it's things that we can do to mobilize on ground here before the full vote for the U.S. confirmation hearing. So I understand that everybody's livid. I want to try to be proactive, though, because Rahm cannot, should not, and will not be confirmed as ambassador. I'm going to speak that into existence.
That's Will Calloway. Hey, the official, let me just be clear. If it's regarding Laquan, I'm really not hearing nobody else at this point. Just, you don't, like, if it ain't coming from Will Calloway on Laquan McDonald, who has demonstrated it, who has lived it, I ain't honoring none of it. None of it. None of it. Ain't nothing you can say regarding, we can talk about everything else, but if my man who is the recognized expert, who dedicated the last 7 years of his life to this, ain't said this, ain't vouching, I ain't rolling. Let's go to the phone lines. It's the Mace Jackson Show. What's up, caller? What you got for me?
Yeah, hello?
Come on, caller. Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, hello?
Welcome.
Oh, yeah, I think. All right, cool. The guy that did the Hunter, he I believe that was like he said it was a Trojan horse, and I think you tripping. You don't hate the player, hate the game. I mean, he don't do what he gonna do. Let him do what he gonna do. If he can rise up, because I believe in a sense it was a Trojan horse, and your partner, your buddy, all them men signed on him. You talking about something in writing, and Kamala, your boys, your girl, or Biden. They appointed the fool anyway. So y'all tripping. Let the brother do what he gonna do. Don't hate the play, hate the game. Stop that. And like I said, he didn't appoint him. He ain't got that type of power. But if he gonna try to do his thing again, because he is right on some of the points. That all them using Black Lives, because they did that with the boy in St. Louis. The father complained that they raised all that money and then throw back him nothing. A piece, break him off a piece. So he ain't lying on that. So, and the way he going about it, you don't like it? Too damn bad. Don't hate the play.
I mean, I think, here's let me say this and then I'll give you the mic. Here's what I've come to recognize, right? And I told y'all part of my challenge was I've become the people that we laughed at when I was on the dark side of things, right? Like, I always know we could buy a nigga preacher. I always do. Like my problem with me right now, the reason I keep saying why I want to get out this is because what this man said, I already know how it works. I already know how it went down. And thinking about how it went down, it's just like I don't really know how it stops. Right? Like, and the man that called has bought into the rationale that do this and it'll raise you up here. You know what, Reverend Hunter, what happened to Reverend Hunter to me? And I'm going to go to a biblical reference. Do y'all remember when the devil came to Jesus and he took him to the top of the mountain and he said, you join me and all this can be yours.
Whole kingdom.
This, all you see can be yours. You be with me. Knowing that his destiny was to be whooped, to be raised up, to be slammed down, to walk through and the people praise him with Hosanna, and a week later they would hang him on the cross and they would call for Barabbas. That's my church, right? Y'all can't mess with me on the Bible. So when I see people using the Bible and you got a story, I got a story. The story that brought to me was they took you to the top of the mountain preaching. You got to recognize the story when you live in it. And the devil gonna talk to you real sweet. He gonna tell you, hey man, just do this thing for me. And you know what they know? They know you niggas will forget. That's why he threw the Anjanette Young in it, right? Because we'll forget. Go to the phone lines. It's the Mace Jackson Show. What's up, caller?
Peace, man. This is Marquin. How you feeling, brother?
What's up, Marquin? I was just looking at the
Peace,
picture.
my brother Will.
I was looking at the picture of all of us on Black Friday, and I might have to tear the picture up, man. I might have to tear the picture up because I joined got hijacked.
Let me tell you something. First, I want to say this: you have activists and you have actorivists. Will Calloway is a bona fide activist. I remember meeting Will for the first time. We were sitting at the mosque. Will was sitting about a row or two in front of me with another individual. And that's when he first brought the Rakia Boy situation to my attention. And some other things. Will been doing this for real. So when, it's kind of hard to shift through the muck and mire to see who's real and who's not out here. But you got those out here that, who will go ahead and use the pain of our people for profit. And then you have those out here that are really trying to bring healing to our people and bring justice to our people. And so Will is one of those. I want to shout out Will on that, real talk. But as far as the pastor goes, I was listening to the minister yesterday, man. And
it was an old video when he was preaching, and he was talking about traitors. And he was saying, one of these days, it's going to be a day that you're not going to betray our people. You will be buying your funeral. There is no. The reason why people like this man can get away with things like this is because there are no consequences whatsoever. There are no consequences. There ain't even a thought or a fear of consequence except for us yelling. That's it. There are no consequences. He got security, so what? He has security up there. He ain't really afraid of no consequences. He really ain't afraid of that. If he was, he'd be real careful on how he walked. It ain't like the old days when sometimes we need to get back to that. There's going to be a time. There's going to be a time when we're going to get in our right mind. And those who want to betray and cross our people and sell our people out are going to pay for it harshly. They're going to pay for it harshly, man. And so we got to start, we got to really start coming to grips with ourselves and asking ourselves, what are we going to really do? And what are we really willing to do in order to protect the integrity of our people and our community and our babies, man? Because dudes like this, he is a cancer. And it's a straight cancer. He sat up here and tried to literally justify his actions. And I'm going to be real with you, man. I got to appreciate you, man. I appreciate you that you wouldn't let him go. You hit him with them questions that made him have to, and when you start hitting him with real questions, you see, I got to go. I got another interview. So, nah, man. Will, keep doing your thing. Also, Will, I owe you an apology, man. I saw you when Sister Kanika had the memorial for her father. I told you then I was going to call you because we going to work out together, and I apologize, but I owe you an apology. I'm apologize to you publicly. But, brother. Yeah, man, y'all, you keep that fight going, and we going to go ahead and have to deal with this situation. And as a matter of fact, I reached out to Mama Carolyn the week for her to hit me back. Okay. We're going to have to go ahead and address that, too. Mm-hmm. So, please, love y'all, man. Keep that fight going.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Marquin. Hey, y'all, to the Warriors, right? Y'all hear me, right? I ain't no call for nothing, but man, Charlie, like for real. And I'm telling you that it's a whole network of people that walk amongst us who encourage these moments and agitate at the same time. And it just is crazy to watch that. Let's go to the line. I'm going to take all your calls before I get out of here. So even if, Riis, you might be over a little bit. You got to work for Tennille today. You tell Tennille I'll call. Hey, it's the Maze Jackson Show. Caller, you on the Maze Jackson Show. I want to just hear from you. Callers, we're going to take your calls today. What's up, caller? Caller?
Hey, Maze?
Yes.
Maze, can you hear me?
I can.
This is Othello calling from Chicago. Hi, I'm calling from Houston. How you doing?
Othello Isaacs, what's up, Mr. 7-footer? How you feeling, dog?
Man, I had to call and give props to Will because I learned something about that intergenerational disconnect you just mentioned. For the longest, I was wondering, scratching my head, how come this brother cares so much? But if he doesn't, then Laquan's life didn't matter, So I just want to throw that out there, and I just want to submit this as a thought. I guess you guys skirting around it, but don't make this guy Hunter bigger than what he really is, because in actuality, he only speaks to his congregation. Whatever microphone he had in front of him, I've heard of Will all the way down here in Texas. I have never heard of this minister anywhere, and I have an enormous ministerial influence in Chicago in terms of friends that I know who are ministers. So let that sink in, but also I want to throw this out here. And Will also submitted something that we need to disseminate more broadly across the city. Reach out to the Japanese consulate. There's no way in the world that Ram should get this job if we as citizens, be it former or currently in the city, reach out to the consulate and say, hey, this is unacceptable. This is who this person is. Yes, there will be confirmation hearings. Yes, Ram has a little bit of pull, but I just called all the way 1,000 miles away in Texas to let Will know, keep doing what you're doing. Will, you bridged the gap today, because I was thinking, hey, why does Will care so much? Why is he always pushing this issue that this life matters? Because every life matters. I think we're missing it. Well, last thing, I think we could be missing it also, that the biggest problem is not the church. It is not necessarily Ram. It's still the Chicago Police Department. They're the one that did all this. Yes, we should be mad at Ram. Yes, we should keep the church accountable. But let's not forget the biggest purveyor of violence against black people. It's not just us. It's also an organization that is supposed to serve and protect. So I just called to throw that out there.
Othello, I appreciate you, man. Calling all the way from. You said you wanted to respond?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, real quick.
Yeah, real quick. So I really can't emphasize this enough. For activism or whatever, I never wanted to do this. I just want to make that completely imperative and clear. Like if my casket was to close tomorrow, I was going to school for art. I was going to school to be a film director. Okay,
I still ain't get one of them cool T-shirts, but that's a whole nother story.
I never wanted to do this. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I believe that I was called to do this. This is not something that I desired to do. That's first. The second thing when it comes to Laquan, again, Laquan, I was not activated by Laquan. I was activated by a plethora of different families in Chicago who was affected by gun violence, by police in Chicago. And I have to get I couldn't get justice, have not got justice for them yet. So they're living through Laquan. So Laquan represents all their sons or daughters. And that fuels me and so many other people to make sure that Jason Van Dyke is held completely accountable so they can live vicariously through them.
Thank you, Will. Reis, let me get that next caller. Caller, you on the Maze Jackson show.
I'm going to do like Mama D. Hallelujah, Yahweh.
All right, that's my man Israel on the live line. What's up, man?
Yeah. Now, call in to salute you, brothers, man. I saw Will up there in front of the county. I told him we going to put the edge of protection around him. Maze, you know, I know once you came from the green team, I've been with you. When they tried to have me, what they do named so I say knock your dreads off. I wouldn't do it. So I'm just saying, I want to say, hallelujah, Yahweh. I'm glad Yahweh waking up you young warriors and fighters. Because I'm officially elder. We elders now, man. You made 50, I'm 54. So we got to put the education around these youth and die, you know. But I'm going to get back to them reverends, though. I've been telling you, Reverend Ripoff, this ain't the Bible, man. You know the Bible. Matthew 7:15. Beware, false prophets. They come as. They come. You know the Bible better than me. So keep up the good work. Let's do it. And then when we just get some Israelites on there, so we can really explain to you what's really these times, man.
Set that up for next week. Set that up for me next week. We can make it happen. Give me the rabbi, and you come on in here and y'all sit down and break it down for me. Hey, we have on the live line because Sister Zakia called and we were all concerned. On the live line, we got Sister Carolyn Ruff. Y'all, if y'all don't know, then you ain't been there because Carolyn is everywhere supporting all of us regardless. And she was out yesterday and apparently something happened. Sister Carolyn, what's up? This is the Maze Jackson Show. Tell us what happened.
Hi, Maze. Thanks for having me. I just want to set the story, set it truthfully. What happened yesterday, I went in to hear the conference, the press conference, because I was invited by someone that sent me a message. I went in. So I had Laquan McDonald poster with me that says 7th anniversary Laquan McDonald murdered by killer cop Jason Van Dyke, rest in peace. And I have Rahm Emanuel picture at the bottom as well as Jason Van Dyke. And so when Reverend Hunter came out of his office, he greeted me with a smile. Then he looked on the chair where I had the poster resting. He looked on there and he's like, oh, no, there's no protesting in here. I didn't come to protest. So he quickly grabbed the sign off the chair, walking with the sign. I said, sir, would you please give me my sign? Would you please give me my sign? Pushing me at the same time, walking with the sign, gave the sign to his security guard. The security guard was pushing me backwards, pushed me out the door, pushed me on the ground. I scraped my arm. My arm is scraped. I hurt the rear end. And they're saying that I laid on the ground just to get attention or whatever. No, I was pushed on the ground by his security. And that's what happened at the church on yesterday. And I was really surprised because I visited Reverend Hunter even before this happened. I visited his church. I gave him donations and stuff like that. And for him to put me in the category of Black Lives Matter, I'm Black Lives Matter, women of faith. And I don't believe in, I'm a freedom fighter. I don't believe in a lot of stuff that Black Lives Matter believes in. But for him to do that to me on yesterday, and I'm 74,
For him to get his security guard on me, and his security guard lied, saying that I hit him in the mouth. No, I didn't hit him in the mouth.
Know you, Sister Carol.
They pushed me. They pushed me on the ground. And Mama D didn't tell that part. She said something about Tyrone on WVON, and I called in, but they didn't have time to talk to me, because Mama D always take up all the time or whatever. But Mama D was there. She didn't come to my rescue. She saw what happened, and then they're trying to say, "Oh, well, she didn't leave. She didn't leave. She was, blase this and that." I'm like, no, that's not what really happened. He snatched Laquan McDonald's picture
So let me say
from
this.
the chair.
So let me say this to everybody listening. We have seniors that are willing to go harder sometimes than us. When we talk about it, I know I got 2 more calls, so I'm going to take them. Somebody's job on site all the time. All the time. In time, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to Greg. I'm talking to you, Will. I'm talking to all the people that are frontliners. Frontliners. You have a responsibility to make sure that our elders that are out here on the front lines when they should be at the crib are taken care of. Pastor Hunter, Carolyn Ruff is a stand-up member of our community. There's no point, none, at any point in which she should be under physical assault, attack, or nothing. I have no doubt that you can talk to her competently and she will walk out if you ask her to walk out. The fact that, and I recognize that it's all hyped up, and I'm just telling you, when you do this, they say, we got you. And I'm just telling all of our people that you got to be aware now. Because let me just be clear, you just stepped into an international situation. Y'all think these people be playing. This dude is trying to be the president of the United States. He is. Pastor Hunter's letter, because remember everybody's like, he can never come back from Laquan? He's back. He's back. And he's at a national level that completes his whole entire... And they worried about Trump. And so I want you all to not minimize what they are willing to do to attain the ring. Some of y'all might need to go watch, what was the thing on Netflix with Kevin Spacey? So y'all can see, because it goes down like that for real. The political show where he was the president, vice president. Anyway, y'all need to go back. I'll find it and I'm gonna tell y'all, because y'all need to watch it, because it goes down like that. Reis running out of gas. So Reis, who else is on that line, man? Caller.
Hello.
Caller. Hello.
Hello, you got me?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Caller.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. I was just wondering what type of. He said he was trying to get a platform. So was that the platform, that one-time press conference? Because other than that, then Ryan must have promised him something.
No, get a TV
so I mean, what type of?
He gonna get him a
right. So that's so to your question of a cost or a number. I guess that's the number. So he did get something out of it. But I understand as a excuse me. Yeah, he's a pastor, okay, man of God. So yeah, he has to forgive. But at the same time, being a man of God, I mean, don't he have to judge this guy's character? Don't Jesus judge character? And now this guy has shown him, this Reverend being a citizen, he's seen Ron at work, so he knows this guy's character. So how can he qualify to put this guy back in a position to be over to represent a people with his type of character? At least character toward black folks. So, he was definitely double talking. I mean, it's business as usual. But I wish I could have asked him that as judging this as a man of God. What about the man's character? How are you going to put him back in a position after you seen what he's done as a black man to black folks. That's all I wanted to say. I would love to have asked.
I would have loved to have asked him too, but I just kept on listening. Like, dang, go ahead, talk some more, because you told a lot. I mean, the gravity of the fact that you knew about the tape and you saw it before the election.
Yeah, and you never said anything.
And you never said a word. So essentially, you are the reason that Rahm got elected.
Yeah, he's a co-conspirator.
Oh, words. You've been hanging out with Salim with these good words. Let me get the calls. Who's on the live line? Caller? You there?
This is Greg. How y'all doing? This is Greg.
Hey, tell that baby stop doing push-ups at 10 weeks, man.
He working out right now.
What's up, Greg Sherman, ECCS.
Hey, what up, y'all? What's up, Will? How y'all doing, man? Hey, happy Friday, everybody. Hey, to Sister Curl, I want to apologize just for being 5 minutes late because I got there and she was already hysterical. Wasn't no other men out there. But one thing you got to know, women and babies is off limits when we around. Women and babies should be off limits with any grown men around, but especially when we on the scene. Ain't no sister or no children got to worry about no harm. I'll die before I let something happen to an elder in my presence. So, sister, I was there. I didn't see an assault. I saw her very upset. And by the time I came out the church, the police was there on the scene handling it. So I don't know what happened. I know she was upset. She said she was assaulted, and there was 4 police officers on the scene. But I apologize for being a few minutes late, sister. I may have been able to assist you. As it pertains to Mr. Hunter, I never heard of this pastor prior to yesterday, right? My auntie is Pastor Gotti Sherman on this west side. I grew up before moving up north in Austin, right? So I'm very comfortable on the west side everywhere I go. I never heard of this pastor. Ty hit me. This pastor is in support of Laquan. We was just with Will the night before at the Federal Plaza. So I was first on the scene, Maze. I get there. He got a few security at the door. They see me. I got my bullhorn. You know how I be moving. They kind of acknowledge me. I guess they just had an incident with Sister Carol. They ain't really want no more smoke. So they let me in. I sat down. And then I guess the Pastor Hunter sent this henchman over to me because he saw that I had the bullhorn, right? Some words were said. They came over, kind of like touching me. I told them to keep it verbal. But long story short, the end of it was that pastor is not a respectful pastor. He was yesterday acting in the capacity of a henchman or a gangster. And so you already know when gangsters in the room, we going to talk it out, right? And so he quickly realized he wasn't dealing with the normal people. And we left. But it was heavy on me yesterday, so much so that I prayed about it. I felt I was questioning myself. Did I go too hard on him? You know what I'm saying? Should I have just gave him a pass? This is his nephew, blah, blah, blah. Like, I really struggled last night with being in a church, even though it wasn't a church during this capacity. It was a press conference place for him to tell these lies. But I just wanted to say this morning, I feel vindicated. I feel more happy. It's a happy Friday. I feel like I did the right thing after listening to everybody speak, even him, right? Now I know I did the right thing to challenge him. I wish I would have slapped him. But I just want to thank Maze. I want to thank Will. I want to thank Mr. Hunter. I want to thank Tyrone. I want to thank every caller for clarifying my spirit, because it's not easy, even though we know these pastors is full of shit, even though we know they've been stealing from our mothers and fathers and grandparents forever. It's still not easy to challenge a person like that in the church, right? But I feel vindicated this morning, and Will let me know when we going back at them, because I'll be there with my bells on, G.
Love you, bro. I do want to say this too, man. One of the reasons that I wanted to come here too is because I'm a believer first. That's my faith. That's what I operate in. And it troubled my spirit to hear a so-called other believer try to use our faith as a vehicle of why he's doing what he's doing. And in response to Brother Greg, we're peaceful individuals. But I also want to remind people there is a scripture and a passage in the Bible where Jesus Christ himself went into the temple and whipped them.
He took his belt off.
He laid hands on people. a crowd of people because they were stealing and misappropriating things in the temple. So we have to know how to appropriately do things. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah. Hey, look, I'm all about peace until it's time for war. This is the Maze Jackson Show. Reese, do I got anything? Am I clear? All right, y'all.
It's time for war.
I thought it was important today. You know, it's usually my Tell Me Something Good Friday. But I thought it was important that we dissected that. I gotta tell you, y'all know how to break a nigga's heart though, and I'm using that word because I feel a certain way. Like y'all gotta understand, like to hear somebody say, "Okay, I saw the tape and I sat on it."
It's crazy.
Like you said that. Like you said, I saw it before, and so wait, Pastor, you saw the tape before? Like just think about everything that we went through that could have been avoided. And then I got to ask you, what? Okay, I got it 10 o'clock. So I got to ask you, though, like, how do we get out of this when that can happen? It's the Maze Jackson Show. Will Calloway, man, Joe, you crashed me, but you always got a spot. And I told you, as far as I'm concerned, if I ain't heard it from you as it relates to Laquan McDonald, I ain't rocking with it. Right? I ain't rocking with it. I ain't trusting it. If they come and tell me that they got a Laquan McDonald Center and you ain't standing on top of it and ensuring that it's being done, it ain't the Laquan McDonald Center. It all becomes stuntery. Stuntery used for people who, because they can always sell it to you. They can always tell you. And it's a lot of black folks that be like, give it to me, I'll do it, and I'll make the people believe. No, it ain't happening. Look, y'all, for Maze and Reis, Ruthie, sometimes Todd, my man Will Calloway in the building. I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here. Peace.
Today, the Biden administration is releasing what it calls a new strategy to fight domestic terrorism. Following a 100-day review, federal officials are now laying out a new plan hoping to deter, detect, and prosecute domestic terror.
They went to the Capitol waving their flags and looking for smoke. He was out there looking for justice. They was over there looking for votes. Ashley Babbitt was with him and told all the people that nothing could stop us. She climbed through the Capitol window, breached security, and called a shot, bro. The media say she a veteran. They paint the picture to make her look greater, but she disrespected the same country that she served. That makes her a traitor. They was fighting police, resisting arrest. On God, I couldn't believe it. I guess blue lives only tend to really matter when it's convenient. Hey, these are the times we witness in history, all because they didn't get a victory. United States is so contradictory. We get equal rights, that's a mystery. Politicians, they more like magicians. You know they got tricks up their sleeve. We point out the flaws that's up in this country. You know they gonna tell us to leave. Somebody try to help me understand it. Always seems like a double standard. They be out here leaving us empty-handed to certain rights we are not granted. The media is the culprit when it comes to the comparison. Cause when it comes to race, they always changing up the narratives. Terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. We still out here trying to get our reparations, but the government pump faking out here hesitating. I'm out here trying to keep my peace, so I keep meditating. The media make us look bad, they taint our reputation. Look, it's so sad that COVID causing toe tags. You claim you so patriotic, but you ain't wearing no mask. You out here wildin' with your MAGA flags and showing your ass. You wanna be part of some type of revolution so bad. Look, you talk revolution and constitutional rights, homie. I guess we forgot about back in the days when all of the business was whites only. Yeah. George Floyd got justice. Juneteenth got much respect. They made it a national holiday. Man, it's all good, but cut the check. They're giving out all of these vaccines, putting it in you like caffeine. Was it all in the part of the plan? I bet money like DraftKings. It's land of the free, home of the brave. 1776, we wasn't free till 1865, so we wasn't part of that shit. And that there's terrorism.